Thank you guys for joining us. Today is the last day of our campaign trail on sexual politics. But before I go ahead with that, exactly on the 6th of August 2019, I was arrested by the Scotland Yard Counter-Terrorism Command on the allegation of terrorism. It was a very shocking experience for me because I have to experience 35 policemen, predominantly English, coming to my apartment and threatening to shut my door down if I do not open the door. And after that arrest, even while I was still being detained, being interviewed under caution, it was all over the news throughout the world that Adeyinka grandson has been arrested. And as you all know, ridiculous headline, clickbait headings. But there's one newspaper that stood the test of time, and they have always supported our movement. And then they contacted me first in 2017 to grant me an interview. They remain the only newspaper outlet that is the most reliable newspaper in Nigeria and the most widely read newspaper across West Africa. They were the only newspaper that carried the true picture of the incident that happened. And I'm very glad to this newspaper that described me as a Yoruba nationalist. We have always been saying to people that we are not activists, we're not revolutionaries, we're politicians, conservative politicians. That is how we want you to see us. But that time, the entire news press carried this news of my arrest for terrorism. But last week, when I was cleared of that allegation, when the Scotland Yard counter-terrorism dropped the allegation, believe you me, I've not read it in any national newspaper. Nobody has reported it that the Scotland Yard counter-terrorism dropped the allegations of terrorism against me. Now, for me, as the president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom, I can see the desire of the majority of the Yoruba people is to see people who are fighting for the interests of their own destroyed. It is one thing that the Yoruba nation, why we are backward. It is one of the reasons why we are poor, miserable, and wretched people in the midst of plenty. When you see Caucasian with brilliant minds, they will be supported by their people. When you see English with brilliant minds, English will always support them. But it is very common of the Yoruba nation to destroy their best mind. And I found a solution to this. We have allowed liberalism to grow for far too long. Any society where people have no sense of history, where people have no sense of self-preservation, that society can never grow. That is why Yoruba nation has five things that are necessary to be great nation, but we are miserable. We have a shoreline, we have abundant human resources, natural resources, we speak the same language. And there's one more thing, which I hope you will find out. Religion. We have common religion of Ifa. These five things are necessary for a nation to be great. Our contemporary as Yoruba people are the Japanese people, the English people, the Caucasian, the Russians, the Chinese. But we live like people in Afghanistan, people in Somalia, people in Niger Republic, people in Chad Republic, because we're horrible people ourselves. Any soul that is doing something great for the Yoruba nation, we always want that soul down. When the police were interviewing me for 9 hours on the 6th of August, they said to me that they've never seen a single Yoruba that is as bold, articulate, intelligent, and extremely fearless like me. Not the Yoruba who lives in England, who runs after £10 per hour. never came to my head except the conservative Yoruba. Today, this horrible Yoruba who lives in England, they are all over social media, particularly on Facebook, asking for Ududua Republic. Stupid soul. I remain the only legitimate voice and the most vocal voice in Yoruba land today that is the public face for the demand for the Ududua Republic. And you cannot support me when I was wrongly arrested for terrorism by Scotland Yard Counter-Terrorism Command. If we were to compromise, I know what they're telling me at that meeting. They praise my intelligence. Yes, they do. If I were to be English, I would have finished 3 times as a prime minister of this country. If I were to be Caucasian, perhaps I would have been going for my 3rd term as a congressman. Yoruba, you destroy the best of your mind. That is why you will never be great. But our generation is here to stop that. And we are starting with the Yoruba leaders. We will confront you in your house, in your offices, wherever you are, to the Yoruba liberals and the PDP. It will be guns for gun. Because for far too long, you have shut us out of our ability to be great people. For far too long, you have destroyed the best of our minds. So now we are coming out for you. This is just a start. This sexual politics, we expected this to last for about 10, 20 campaign days. But because I have to challenge the police in court, who have accused me of using inflammatory language in 4 of my 520 videos, so we have to cut short and do 5 days because I need to prepare for my presentation in court. But let me warn you, Yoruba Libra, we know you. The majority of you are Pentecostal Christians. You go to Redeemed Christian Church of God, you go to Winners Chapels, and you go to other ridiculous, useless Pentecostal churches. That is where you go most of the time. We are going to speak truth to you because you are horrible people. You are the only set of people on this planet Earth that want to change what God Almighty has created. God Almighty was not high on marijuana to have made me and others Yoruba people. He wants us to use our innate capital to make Yoruba land great. It is only the Yoruba Libra in the Pentecostal churches that want equal rights and responsibility for everyone in Yoruba land. That is not how God created it. If God wants every one of us to be equal, there will not be Yoruba, there will not be Igbo, there will not be Hausa, there will not be Fulani, there will not be Kanuri, there will not be white, there will not be black, there will not be yellow people. What has happened to me on a personal level, it will make me to be a very difficult man, a very mean man, a very determined soul, because police have arrested me for far too many times because of my ethnicity and the color of my skin. And when you do not see your own people support you, if we have power, we will be drastic in nature. We will be drastic in our attitude. And we are already drastic because you see the truth, you do not say it. That is one of the reasons why I have always been insisting that we must regulate Pentecostalism across Yoruba land because it is destroying the fabric of our society. It is making our people miserable. It is making our people foolish. It is making people to ask Jesus Christ, who died many years ago, who never set a foot on Yoruba land, for us to be praying to somebody who is dead for food, for healthcare, for good education, for job, for security of lives and property. We have to stop Pentecostalism, believe you me, and it has to be by force. I believe in violence, and this is my whole philosophy as a human being. If you violate me, I'll violate you back. This is one thing the Yoruba people do not learn. When people violate us, we ignore. They repeat it, we ignore it. Every now and then, we do not challenge them. We don't revenge. That is why our society is backward. That's why people are miserable. People are useless in Yoruba land. Somebody will graduate from university with no job, no prospect, and he will wake up one day and say to us that Jesus Christ has called him. He will go and open one ridiculous church. Nobody to regulate this person. But in the United States of America, you cannot become a pastor unless you have master's degree in theology. But any shit human being can wake up tomorrow and say, Jesus Christ called me. And you do not see the impact, the negative impact of this action. We have a lot of laborers in Yoruba land. I am a well-known figure. I have been very, very popular across social media since 2012. The police have no moral right, no legitimate right whatsoever to arrest me like a common criminal without Yoruba nation challenging the police. But you continuously ignore this reality. You are a horrible society. Yoruba society is backward. You will never be great if you do not have sense of self-preservation. You will never be great. It has taken us 5 days to challenge the norms, to refocus the minds of the Yoruba women, to point out the negativities of the Igbo criminal men. What we have always been saying has to do with fact, nothing but the truth. I want to say categorically today, I have never supported hostage taking in my life. When I was advising the militants in Niger Delta, you call them militant, and they tend to have accepted it. They've not forced anybody to change it. I have never for once advocated that they should take militant, they should take hostages. I've always advocated that when you are fighting for the freedom of your people, when you're trying to protect your descendant, there will be casualty, people will die. What the English police are doing to me, it will make us to also do the same thing to English national in Yoruba land. What they are doing to me is unjust, is unreasonable. It should not be acceptable. It cannot stand the test of time. It cannot stand in court for a police to constantly arrest me 8 times of my life living in England. We would do the same thing to English national in Yoruba land. When you push people to the wall, they challenge the norms, they damn the consequences. We were born into degradation. I was in my early 20s when my elder brother was shot and killed. I was a secondary school student when my mother was arrested by the Awusa Fulani police and the Igbo police in Yoruba because she was the president of Nubife, calling out people to strike. I was young. I was born into degradation. And I came abroad. It is the same degradation that I see. So we will apply this degradation that you have brought us to fight and defend our children's future. I will say to the Yoruba nation, you are horrible people. We have to be honest with ourselves. Wọ́n ní tọ́mọ ìyá méjì bá jọ sọ̀rọ̀ tán bá lè jú jáde, wọ́n bára wọn sọ tọ̀rọ̀. You are horrible. You are the only nation on this planet Earth that has majority population. You are the only nation on this planet Earth with the economic backbone that is treated like a minority. So this makes you terrible people. And it is not because all the Yoruba are hopeless. It is because for far too long, we have allowed liberalism to grow in Yoruba land. We have allowed people who are Yoruba to undermine the interests of another Yoruba citizen without them paying for the consequences of their action. Fulani single out Obasanjo and use him to destroy the future of our children. Nothing untoward has happened to Obasanjo. Remember Abimbola Davis, a Yoruba citizen. He was part of those who went to court with Ontol Nzeribe to ask for the annulment of June 12 election won by Abiola. Nobody did anything to this man. If an English has done that to an English citizen, he would have been killed. If a Caucasian man in the United States of America has done that to another Caucasian man, he would have been killed as well. If we're unwilling to change, we will be destroyed. In order for us not to be destroyed, we have to change our ways. Now, we'll use this opportunity to say to the police, I've never done anything against the law. You have now arrested me 8 times of my life. If you arrest me again, we are going to arrest English national in Lagos. This is our definite statement. If you arrest me again in England, there will be arrest of English national in Lagos, Yoruba land. We will show their faces. We will not release them. I have always insisted I want to leave England. People don't know this. In January 2019, I went to the court, the family court, and I requested to take my children out of this country because my son had complained that the mother has brought a black man home and he doesn't want to go back home. And I said, give me my children and I'll leave your country. The judge didn't give me my children. That is the truth. It is the same thing I experienced in Nigeria that I also experienced in England. Discrimination. So where do you expect me to run to? In Yoruba land, my best friend, who happens to be my elder brother, was shot and killed because he refused to give ordinary bribe of 20 naira to the police officers who stopped him at a traffic check. And they snuffed life out of a man that is just 31 years old. So I face discrimination in Yoruba land because of the unitary system. And I come to live in England. I am facing the same discrimination. What happened to me, if my generation refused to stop it, it will happen to my children. It has been 54 years that the entire Yoruba nation has been asking for a return to regional government. 54 years. I was not born 54 years ago. I was not born 50 years ago. I was not even born in 1966 when regional government was suspended. But here I am today, leading other young Yoruba across the globe to ask for what Awolowo requested on the 1st of May 1967, that we must go back to regional government. My generation is still asking for the same thing. My son generation would do likewise if our generation fails. We have allowed too many injustices to go on. People fight against injustice. It is those who are brilliant. It is those who are determined. It is those who are willing to die for a cause that is just to protect their own nation. These are the people that must be in leadership. So I'm saying this clearly. We're taking a decision, a conscious effort. We will take English national in Lagos if the police in this country dare to arrest me again. We will arrest English national in Lagos. There's so much wealth in Yoruba land. I sat down before coming to do this lecture. When I left university, I was employed with Conhoy in my early 20s. Then I decided to change job, and I was employed with Standard Chartered Bank. I ended up with financial derivative, taking 300,000 naira per month. That was my salary because my employer wanted to use my brain. I was the one writing for Eurasia report, writing for Europe and Russia, as well as Asia, report about Nigeria so that investors can come to invest. I found myself in a country I never desired to live in because of healthcare. And I thought about when my sister called me one day and she was crying, you can't fetch operation for when fetch operation for we need money. Your me donate to, and we have so much wealth. in Yoruba land. She was asking me for donation towards her daughter's operation. We're going to go to war, folks. We want to fight. Believe you me, it is enough. We will not allow this injustice to continue. And we are appealing to Yoruba women. Wọ́n ní tọ́lúwa bá fò tá ẹni hàn ni kò lè pa ní. Tọ́lúwa bá fò tá ẹni hàn ni kò lè pa ní. Igbo nation is the number one enemy of the Yoruba nation. The Fulani are not our number one enemy. Fulani took advantage of the suspension of the regional government. Fulani are not Yoruba enemy. They are not our enemy. If you take the presidency, Fulani will hit from her palms. It is the Igbo people that the number one enemy of the Yoruba nation. And they have perpetrated this for so long. We have been exposing the atrocity against the Yoruba nation. And we are calling on Yoruba women as the fabric of our society. They have to stop opening their legs to Igbo men. You must cease all sexual and marital relationship with Igbo men. We're not the only first people to do that. In Germany, they are stopping their women from getting married to black men. It is nothing to do with racism. It is actually self-preservation to protect your own interests. Igbo have decided to use intermarriages as a weapon to suppress, subjugate, and dominate the Yoruba nation. And if we do not stop Yoruba women from getting married to these horrible people, our civilization is going to be destroyed in our lifetime. I've taken too much time to speak about my experience in England in the hands of their police. And I'm not making a joke. Believe you me, when I make a statement, it has always been a conscious statement. We made a statement as regards the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò about 2 months ago. There has been a response yesterday. If I have the time, I will speak on that response. But there are two demands that we made of the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. We will undermine that office if he continues not to speak out against the criminality of the Igbo. If he continues to use his personal differences against Tinubu to undermine and jeopardize the national interests of the Yoruba nation. He spoke out about these two yesterday, Iba Gani Adam. For the first time since he became Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, he spoke out against Igbo criminality because we make a demand of it. We are speaking for the Yoruba nation. If you think that this is a joke, you don't know how God Almighty works. He brings out somebody that you least expected to free a nation. I don't have the wisdom of Aulo. I do not have the wealth of Abiola. But what the young Yoruba for freedom has done in the last 80 years, it has changed the course of history across Yoruba land. Our target is 2023. We will take the rulership of Nigeria. We will take that presidency. We will bring Nigeria back to regional government or break it apart. So Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò responded yesterday. And I'm using this opportunity because I know so many people will watch me because this is the last day. I'm challenging the English establishment. If you arrest me again, you have arrested me for 8 times. If you arrest me again, there will be an equal arrest of English national in Lagos. We will arrest English citizens because you work in our oil and gas in Yoruba land. We have crude oil in Lagos. We have crude oil in Ogun. We have crude oil in Ondo. We have crude oil in Ishekri. English are working there. You are not cleaning our toilet the way we do here in England. English are the one in charge of our financial and capital market. You control our stock exchange because Sanusi Lamido Sanusi sold it to you. You are the concessionary in charge of our ports in Yoruba land, not in Nigeria. You have Guinness Nigerian PLC. You have Standard Chartered Bank. You have PricewaterhouseCoopers. You have Cadbury. We know all your businesses. It's not as if you are doing us a favor. I have had enough of your arrest. And I've been saying, and it's been very clear, the only thing you can do to me is to give me a paper and ask me to leave United Kingdom. Believe you me, I will leave, but not to Nigeria, because Fulani will arrest me. I have had enough of your arrest. It is 8 times. And I'm using this opportunity to speak against it. If you dare to arrest me again, I will make sure, with the instruction that we have already given to our members, there will be arrest of English nationals in Yoruba land. When the Russians were alleged to have used chemical weapon to kill a Russian citizen in England, diplomatic relationship was severe between Russia and the United Kingdom. It was legitimate action for the United Kingdom to do that. I am a voice for the Yoruba nation. You can no longer arrest me like a common criminal. If you do, your national in my country will arrest them. I've had enough. I think about my children every day. This is not the kind of country that I want for my children to live in. There's so many black kids in your country with no father. My children are being exposed to another man who has 2 criminal convictions when I cannot see to raise them. You push us into degradation, and it is you that will pay for the consequences of what we're going to do. So I use this opportunity to say, believe you me, we want to go to war. We have had enough. A young man I saw my mother arrested by police and put in police cell because she was the president of Nubife. I saw my elder brother shot and killed in Yoruba land. I come to live in England and I get arrested by police every time. I get to face discrimination in everything that I do. You think I will not stand the test of time to defend the civilization of my homeland? You think I will not stand the test of time to defend my descendant, my children? When I live in England, I see black kids don't have fathers. I see them going into knife crime, selling drugs. I see black girls getting into prostitution, living in deprived community, living in housing estate where they sell drugs, they do prostitution. This is not the kind of nature. This is not the kind of life that I want for my kids. No, no, this is not. I'm a Yoruba prince. So, folks, I may have spoken enough about this. Today, I got delayed because I have to write something about my children. It's a pain in my heart that I have to struggle to try to get my kids back. That's why we're delayed. We're supposed to start 3 o'clock because it's a family issue. I have to take my time. And writing all of these things, thinking about my kids were taken away from me, thinking about the fact that so many black kids have no father in this country, thinking about a Kafka's that allows somebody with a criminal conviction to live in my children's home, not in his own home, to live with my kids. And I'm saying, I don't want this. The kind of politics I do is too dangerous for my children to live with a man that I do not know his identity. I don't want this. And they continue to hide this guy's identity from me. To God who created me. If the police should arrest me another time in this country, there will be arrest of English national in Yoruba land. I have now had enough of your arrest. 8 consecutive arrests is madness. If you do not stop it, believe you me, you will think that we will not be able to do this. I made a conscious effort to speak out because today I have to write and request the custody of my kids after the allegation of terrorism has been dropped. It's a pain in my heart. I don't want to live in this society. This is not the kind of society I want to raise my children. I want to raise my children in Yoruba. I want to raise my children either under a parliamentary system that is based on regional government in which we can all manage our respective space, or under the Oduduwa Republic. No father should live in a society that deny him his right to raise his children. England is horrible for that. When it comes to black people, they deny black kids the right to be raised by their father. And they expose these black children to horrible stepfathers, to stupid stepmothers, who then destroy the life of these kids. And they would think I'm making a joke. And whatever I say, we say, believe you me, we practicalize it. If the English police will arrest me another time, there will be equal arrest of English national in Yoruba land. I've said to them in 2020, 2019, I want to leave. I can't condone this arrest any longer. But they are refusing because the family court refused me to take my children out of the country. They may say they have the legitimate right to do so, but I don't want that kind of system. We want better system for our children. We cannot allow so many Yoruba children that are born in England. Believe you me, they are horrible. We cannot even use them to grow the economic of Yoruba land because majority of them are living shit life with no father figure. So if you look at that, with what the Igbo men are doing in Yoruba land, Yoruba women, it is the same damage that you face abroad that is currently ongoing in Yoruba land. The same damage. The Igbo men are trooping into Yoruba land to essentially get married to you in order to populate Yoruba land with their offspring, in order to then use their children to suppress, subjugate, and dominate us. And they have been able to do this. You will see across Yoruba land, Igbo, full-blooded Igbo, who are elected in our parliaments. But you will never see a full-blooded Yoruba elected in any Igbo parliament in their 5 states. You will see half Yoruba, half Igbo, as I've been told in those states, who are in our parliaments. But you will never see half Yoruba, half Igbo in Igbo parliaments. So what we have decided to do from 2023, we will send half Yoruba, half Igbo with Yoruba mothers. We're going to send all of them to go and contest election and take over the governance of Igbo land. If you, Igbo, will not allow them to do that, you will know that we will deal with you squarely and legitimately across Yoruba land. So to Yoruba women, Igbo have always rejected any Yoruba citizen whatsoever who strives to make Yoruba land great. Every time they do that, they call Awolowo a tribalist, but Awolowo was actually a nationalist. Awolowo, throughout his lifetime, he fought for the interests of the Yoruba nation. He worked to safeguard the welfare of the Yoruba nation. Yoruba is not a tribe. I'm an Akoko Yoruba. Akoko is a tribe of the Yoruba nation. Yoruba is a nation. So Awolowo was not a tribalist, he was a nationalist, a Yoruba nationalist. The Igbo rejected him because he was pro-Yoruba during his lifetime. When Abiola was alive, I'm saying this to Yoruba women who are opening their legs for Igbo criminals. When Abiola was alive, he gave money to everybody in Nigeria. He was building hospitals across Nigeria. There was no exception to how he was spending his money. He spent equal amount of money in Yoruba land as much as he spent in Igbo land. He gave everybody across Nigeria equal treatment, which I would consider to be very foolish because I would never treated any other child special other than my own child. That is self-preservation. But Abiola treated everybody equally because we have this stupid notion that Yoruba people are accommodating. But what did he get? Igbo called him an Islamist. They spread fake propaganda against this man. And I read it when I was young. They said that he ensured a shipload of Holy Bible got sunk because he doesn't want anybody to read the Bible. That was a lie. Abiola went to a Christian school. He couldn't have possibly done that. But that was the propaganda that was spread against this man by the Igbo people. They call him an Islamist, a normal word for a terrorist. That was how they described Abiola. They did not vote for him. The same way they rejected Awolowo and did not vote for him, they rejected Abiola. When it was the turn of Olufalaye, the Nadeko people who fought then, they were killed by Fulani who were in the military, in the police, as well as the Igbo. But Nadeko fought for the interests of Abiola. Nadeko fought for the Yoruba nation. After Abiola was assassinated by the Fulani, then an election was called for. And everybody agrees that Olufalaye should be the presidential candidate who will take the mandate of Abiola. That was when the Igbo started their propaganda against this man, saying that because he worked as the secretary to the military government of Babangida, he has no right to want to be a civilian president. They call him a militarist. They said people should not vote for him, but they gave their vote to Obasanjo, who was actually a military guy, who had been a military head of state, who participated in writing the shit presidential system constitution that we're currently using. He first did it in 1978. I told you this yesterday. Igbo voted for him. Olufalaye was pro-Yoruba to the core. Even while he was a secretary to the military government, he was making sure that the Yoruba were not killed. He was doing everything within his capacity to protect his homeland. It is simply because Olufalaye was pro-Yoruba to the core. That was why Igbo rejected him. So I'm saying to Yoruba women who are opening their legs to these horrible criminals, these are people who hate your leaders. These are people who hate your people. You have children with them. They don't love you. They will never love your child. But they want to spread their seed in Yoruba land in order to use these children in future to dominate us politically. That is their clear intention. So if you support these people, you allow them to have sex with you, you allow them to get married to you are destroying, you are invariably contributing to the destruction of your father's land, Yoruba land. Today, what do you see the same Igbo doing? They are all out for one man only, Tinubu. They said to everybody that he's corrupt. Tinubu has never been governor of any Igbo speaking area in his entire lifetime. Tinubu has never been any elected politician in Igbo land. Tinubu and Orji Uzor Kalu became governor at about the same time. Orji Uzor Kalu just is in prison right now. Tinubu did so much, excellently well for the Yoruba nation. He's not an Igbo man. He has never governed an inch of Igbo space. But every now and then, they spread propaganda against this man. Simply because Tinubu is pro-Yoruba. So Yoruba women are people that do hate your own leader. It is like getting married to a man who disrespects your father. It was yesterday that I was listening to Ariel Onokaka for interview when he said categorically that Okonjo-Iweala, the former Minister of Finance, under Obasanjo and under Jonathan, actually described Yoruba as Amala people. Are people that can hate our food. They will never love you. The other time I was telling you how the Igbo describe us as Ofema Anu people because we use palm oil for our stew, for our soup, and for our cooking. People who hate food can never love you. So the caliber of Okonjo-Iweala could address the Yoruba people as Amala people. See the kind of deep-seated hatred these people have for your space. And if you continue to marry them, Yoruba women, I can guarantee you one thing. I made a statement. I'm conscious of what I say. Believe you me, we will undermine your children in Yoruba land. You will live to regret your action in your old age when your children shall face discrimination. I spoke about the 38 parallel line that led to the division of the whole Korea into partly South Korea and North Korea. If you think Nigeria is going to remain forever, you are joking. Nigeria is not going to last forever. It will eventually break. It is the English who are using the Fulani to keep Nigeria as one. The Igbo internally vote for Fulani. The English give Fulani weapon, military weapon, to suppress the Yoruba. But I assure you one thing, we will get the support of the United States. Imagine if the CIA had not supported me. I could have been charged for terrorism today. See, America is a just society. It's a just country. The Caucasian are reasonable people. That's why I'm appealing to the leadership of the Yoruba nation. We need allies. We need to go back and negotiate with the good people of Israel. We need to go back and talk to President Trump. We need to approach the Federative Republic of Brazil. We need to go and talk to these our allies. We need to speak to Portugal. They've always been sending weapons to us whenever we want to fight the English. We're not pleading with Yoruba women. We're instructing you. You will jeopardize the future of your children in your old age. You will regret that you married to Igbo. They hate us. The only reason why they hated Awolowo was because Awolowo stopped them from dominating us. They wanted to control Lagos. The only reason why they hated Abiola is because Abiola used his newspaper to stop the Igbo from dominating us. The only reason why they hated Olufalaye was because Olufalaye was pro-Yoruba to the core. They are hating Tinubu because it is only Tinubu that is stopping them from controlling Lagos. It is their desire. Fulani has never called Lagos no man's land. Kanuri people have never called Lagos no man's land. Nupe people, they have never called our space no man's land. You cannot hear the thief people calling our space no man's land. You can never hear the Ijaw people saying the same. But recently, with the propaganda of the Igbo, the stupid Edo people are calling Lagos no man's land. And they will pay for the consequences of their stupid action. All of them are now fighting. These are the people, if I show you WhatsApp messages that I've received from my Ijaw friends who are militant, they are always very helpful to me anyway. You see, they're all fighting Igbo now. They say, grandson, you're speaking the truth. Grandson, you're right all the time. I'm always right because we do research and we do not lie. We're not propagandists like the Igbo. They hate Tinubu because it is only this man who stood the test of time and stopped Igbo people from controlling Lagos. We're serious about our statement. From 2023, the governors in Igbo land will be half Yoruba, half Igbo. We are sending them as our representative, like colonial officers, like Ajele. We will send them to your space. If you dare to reject them, you will never get into Yoruba land. And no Igbo will ever amount to anything politically in Yoruba land. No. Our accommodating nature is not that nature is not that we are good. We're just stupid people. How can you accommodate people who want to destroy you? How can you accommodate minority to suppress and subjugate you? They want to take over Yoruba land and Tinubu is their stumbling block. There was never a time in history. Go and read the history. There was never a time in history in Yoruba land that a Fulani represented us as a legislator. There was never a time. Fulani will not come into our space to say they want to contest for election. It has always been Igbo people who want to contest for election in Yoruba land. We don't contest election in their space, but that is changing in 2023. We are going to send all these half Igbo, half Yoruba back to their father's land to go and contest for election. Fulani do not, but it is the Igbo who are coming. They took over everything that we have. They took over our beautiful party, NCNC, and turned it into Igbo party in 1949. They attempted to take over the Yoruba Western Region Legislative Assembly in 1951 before Awolowo checkmated them. And they hated him for that. I like to tell history. Sometimes I do tell story and I use colorful language. In 1951, it was my grandfather who spoke at the Western Region Legislative Assembly. He was a king. He said something to the Yoruba nation. Odò tó bá tojú ẹni kún, ẹ̀yìn ẹni ló ti ń gbẹ. That tí wọn ò bá support Awólọ́wọ̀ kó jẹ premier, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá máa bàjẹ́. It is the blood that is running in me today. That statement ensures that Awolowo became our first prime minister. In 1954, Igbo started calling Lagos no man's land. 1954. So the strategy they have to destroy us now is intermarriages. They want to continue to sleep with our girls. Did you notice that when the Yoruba conservatives started calling out Yoruba women not to marry Igbo men, have you ever heard of the Igbo men saying the same thing to their girls? Saying that Igbo women should not marry Yoruba men. Did you hear them? No! Because it is their ulterior motive, their innate desire to use intermarriages to destroy Yoruba land. We spoke about a research that pointed out the fact that the higher intermarriages you have, the lower your ability to speak with one voice. So Fulani are smart. They marry within themselves. That is why they continue to suppress and dominate other people. In 1962, it was an Igbo member of the Yoruba Western Region Legislative Assembly by the name of Mr. Emeka Ebubedike from Ozubulu in Anambra State. He represented Ajeromi, Ifelodun, Badagry East in Yoruba land, and Igbo. You don't see Fulani wanting to win election in Yoruba land. They do not, they have never contested for election. Fulani people. It's always been Igbo. And they won election, Igbo people. So this guy, he was the one who took the mace. He seized the mace, the symbol of authority at the assembly, and used it to break somebody's head. Because of his action, which was deliberate, so that Zik, who controls the federal government with his friend Balewa, who connived together and declare a state of emergency in Yoruba land in 1962. Deliberate. When you put a foreigner in your assembly, in your parliament, they destroy you. If we were only Yoruba people, nobody would have taken the mace because of an argument at the parliament to break somebody's head. Mr. Ebubedike did that intentionally because he was Igbo man. Folks, a state of emergency was declared in 1962. My Mallory and Chukuma Eziogu were ordered by Zik and Balewa to kill anybody that is Yoruba. Go and read the history. Over 14,528 Yoruba children, women, and men were killed between 1962 and 1964. This led to warfare. When you allow foreigners to get into your governance, they are going to destroy your nation. I told you yesterday, I've been living in England for quite a while. I've never seen one English as a terrorist. I have seen British passport holders born in Britain who have detonated bombs to kill everybody in Britain because this is not their homeland. So when you allow foreigners to get into your leadership, political leadership, when you allow foreigners to move into your space unregulated, when you allow foreigners to dominate your sphere, they are going to destroy you. But we have one good news. Our generation is going to stop this nonsense with the use of chemical and biological weapons. You continue to undermine us. You're shaking because of Ebola. You were shaking because of coronavirus. We've been saying since 2012 that this is the weapon of choice for the Yoruba nation because Fulani controls our waterways. They use our port to bring in weapons. They have stockpiled weapons in Hausa Fulani land, ready to use them against the Yoruba nation. If we have common sense, we will go to laboratory and produce viruses to fight and defend Yoruba civilization too. That was what Mr. Ebubedike did deliberately to cause a state of emergency. And a Yoruba woman with no sense of history, with no sense of self-preservation, you continue to open your leg to these people to ravage your body so that they can destroy Yoruba civilization. It is your children's future that you will jeopardize. In 1963, it was Zik who encouraged Balewa to put Awolowo in prison. That man was jailed for 10 years. Awolowo never for once advocated for organized violence. That was why they treated him like a common criminal. They destroyed that guy's brain. A very intelligent soul for that. God made him specifically to change Yoruba land for better. They destroy his brain because he does not believe in organized violence. So, folks, let us be realistic. If you try to destroy America, they will get weapons to destroy it. That was why they went to Iran. That was why they went and killed Gaddafi. And they don't pretend about their desire. That was why they were after so many people. It is only a foolish nation that they will be killed, they will be attacked, their leaders will be decimated, and they will not revenge. We are no longer stupid. Our parent generation were horrible people. Zik ensured that Awolowo was put in prison. Look, let me tell you something about the beauty of the English colonial talks. Folks, we don't call them colonial master. It is our parent generation that were using those stupid words. Colonial master, somebody who came to your space, killed your people, took over your governance, took over your resources. You call them colonial master. They were talks. And we can even call them terrorists too. But let me say something to you. When the English were with us from 1851 to 1951, they did not put Awolowo in prison. Awolowo was a very young man. He started politics at the age of 23. That was when he was first elected. 23 years old. The English did not put him in prison for 1 minute. But when Balewa, Fulani, and Zik, Igbo, when they took over power in 1960, under 2 years, they already put Awolowo in prison. These are black people. Some stupid people will say we are practicing Pan-Africanism. When the white English were there, they did not put Awolowo in prison. But when these horrible black people, Igbo and Fulani, when they took power in 1960, they already put Awolowo under house arrest by 1962, and they jailed him 10 years imprisonment by 1963. You're telling me Pan-Africanism, black power. I'm going to address Shehu Kuti later if I have the time, but I'll prepare for him anyway. So you see, Yoruba women, these people don't like you. If they marry you, it is part of their strategies that they have planned from their space to sleep with Yoruba women, get them pregnant deliberately so that they can spread their seed. They are not willing to take care of the children. They just give the child an Igbo name and move on to another woman. Move on and spread their seed in Yoruba land so that liberalism can be growing. When a child is Igbo, the mother is Yoruba, his loyalty is divided. His loyalty is divided. That is what the Igbo nation want for us. And we are going to solve this problem by force. I don't believe in negotiation when the other party does not believe in negotiation. If you are using intermarriages as a strategy to destroy my nation, I must be ready to use violence to destroy you and defend my nation. So we will shame Yoruba women across our university, which we have told a number of student leaders. Any Yoruba lady in any of our universities, polytechnic, and colleges of education seen with an Igbo man, she will be shamed, and such an Igbo man will be attacked. We don't want you to get involved with our women any longer. They are our precious diamond, and we want to protect their interests now. They are the fabric of our society. So the Igbo have always desired to undermine and interfere in our political affairs because of the useless Yoruba leader. Their expansionist agenda has gained tandem with the mass migration of Igbo to Lagos. It is a weapon of war. You see, when I watched Ariel Nakakamfo video yesterday, interview yesterday, and I concluded that, look, I don't think Ariel Nakakamfo still understands psychological warfare. Igbo and Fulani are using psychological warfare on us. Ariel Nakakamfo was saying that Fulani will not give up power. You know that already. So what is your backup plan? Who says to you that Fulani will not give up power? They are minority. And Ariel Nakakamfo is saying that Fulani has the backing of the English. Yeah, we have exposed that to everybody in Nigeria, and particularly the Yoruba nation. Now, why don't you reach out to the United States of America? Why is the Yoruba not reaching out to Israel so that we have their backbone too? He doesn't understand psychological warfare. The mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land is a declaration of war. Why did you think that the English left the EU? Aside the fact that there's so many people trooping into their space from Eastern Europe to do crime, apart from the fact that immigration was a big issue in the EU, two nations control the EU. People who attest to it, France and Germany. They have relegated England to the back. Even ordinary Greece has some leverage better than England. Republic of Ireland is a voice in the EU better than England. So the English left because they could not control the EU. That is it. So when Ariel Nakakamfo says in his interview that the English are still powerful, I just laugh. No, they are no longer a powerful force to reckon with. No, they are no more. And I've challenged people who think that because English are white, the Caucasian in America are white, that we cannot negotiate with America. And I've challenged people. And when we make a statement, we've done our extensive research. No English national has ever been president of the United States since the head of the revolution that chased away the English from power. When you chase a people from power, you don't give them back power. That is the reason why Fulani, who chased Igbo out of power in 1966 July, have refused to give power back to Igbo or even to Yoruba. They only look for a compromised Yoruba person like Obasanjo. That is the reason why they are trying to bring this guy that we're going to fucking beat and tear him naked, Tunde Bakari, because you are Fulani. You are not Yoruba. Yes, we respect the fact that your mother is Yoruba, but you have made your statement very clear. In 2014, you said you are not for Yoruba interest. So we don't like you. You have to go and be the prime minister of Hausa Fulani land because your father is from Sokoto. That is the truth. It was when I exposed this that he went onto Wikipedia and tried to edit it, saying, I don't know where my father is from. No, your father is a Fulani man from Sokoto. So you don't take power from a people that are subjugating you and give them back. Go and read the history. I want people to make statement if I'm lying. No English has ever been the president of the United States of America since the English were chased out of power. You don't chase out somebody from power and then hand over presidency to. So when Ariel Nakakamfo says that English and America, because they are both white, we can't negotiate with them. It's not right. It's not. So the mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land is actually a declaration of war. Look at the Igbo. They are stopping the Almajiri from coming to their space. They have written a letter to the UN saying that Almajiri coming to their space is a declaration of war. But these guys trooping into our space every day. So they have one purpose in mind, to dominate us. That is why, since we started this lecture on day one Emmanuel Chibuzo, who is close to Femi Fani Kayode, released a video saying that I'm going to be attacked. I no longer believe that anyway, because the police here, even though I've spoken bad about them in the beginning of this video, because I'm frustrated about what I have to do in respect of my children today. I'm very, very unhappy about that attitude. But they still give me some protection now. And after next week that I'm done with the case in court, we're going to release the name of somebody that we now know who is trying to kill me. And we're going to release that name to the public. We're going to shame a lot of people and we're going to deal with the situation. So it is actually a declaration of war when they troop into our space. But they don't want Almajiri to come into Ebola. So you sense it, Yoruba women. When they sleep with you, it is part of their strategy to infiltrate our political leadership, to populate our space with their children in order to dominate us. So if you open your legs for them, it is you and your children that will suffer the consequences now and in the future. My friend, when I was discussing over the phone with her today, she was telling me that, grandson, I watched the video about sexual politics. What you are saying is actually true because majority of black people prefer to be married to black people. Majority of white people prefer to be married to white people. So it makes sense that the majority of the Yoruba should really marry Yoruba people. Do we condemn Canary people? Do we condemn Nupe people? Do we condemn Yoruba in Togo, Yoruba in Benin Republic? No. Our focus and attention is on the Igbo because they are the number one enemy of the Yoruba nation. And if we do not stop these animals, believe you me, they will make life difficult for our children. Some people are so foolish in Yoruba and they think because they have children abroad, oh, my son, my daughter, they have British passport. It's useless. I have a cousin, her father is English, her mother is actually Yoruba. She doesn't like to live in England because she faces discrimination. She wants to come to Yoruba land. She said to me, grandson, when I get to Abuja, they call me Oyibo Oyibo. And the moment I started speaking Yoruba, they are so happy because Yoruba were very accommodating, right? That is it. But here in England, she faces hell, challenges. It is nothing to do with racism, it is to do with self-preservation. If we continue to allow the mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land, it will destroy our civilization in our lifetime. So the mass migration of the Igbo into Yoruba land is a declaration of war. And we are going to end this through organized violence. You know how long that the Igbo have represented Oshodi Solo Federal Constituency before we took that place from them in 2019? They represented that constituency for well over 16 years. How many constituencies are we controlling in Igbo land as Yoruba people? No, I'm asking you a question, stupid Yoruba women opening their legs for Igbo land. And you have children with them. Why is it that they won't allow your children that you had with Igbo men to be the representative, senators, House of Representative member in Igbo land? Why? Because their strategy is to suppress you, Yoruba, through our women. And we are out now to protect these women. That's why I'm challenging the Igbo. You can never see the Igbo people using social media to say that Igbo women should not marry Yoruba men. They won't say that because they have a strategy to suppress you through intermarriages. So it is now left for us to discriminate against Yoruba women married to Igbo men. It took the involvement of Tinubu and MC Oluomo to checkmate the Igbo in Oshodi Solo Federal Constituency 2 and 1 in 2019. It is part of the reason that they are out with propaganda against him. So Igbo people are the number one enemy of the Yoruba nation. Don't fall for the gimmick of the stupid and crazy and do nothing Yoruba liberals telling you Fulani are our number one enemy. How do you find out who is your number one enemy? Why is it that the Igbo voted for Atiku in 2019? Why? Why not give the ticket to Fayoshe, a Yoruba? If Fayoshe had obtained the ticket of the PDP, he would perhaps be the president of Nigeria today because Yoruba will vote for their son. But Igbo went and voted for Atiku. They tell you, oh, our son is his deputy. It's a lie. They've always been voting for Fulani since 1959. So they vote for Fulani in every election. But Yoruba will say, we are very accommodating. You are horrible. You're just stupid society, illiterate society. You have a lecture. And look, Buhari, Buhari chief of staff is a Fulani. Buhari, oh, they are controlling NNPC. Fulani are controlling NNPC. Ayewa, Fulani are controlling port. Ayewa, Fulani are controlling everywhere. It is because you are in the presidency. If you put your son there, Yoruba will control everything too. Yeah, Yoruba will control everything. Why is it that the Igbo have never supported Yoruba to be president of Nigeria? Obasanjo is not a Yoruba man. They are your enemy, your number one enemy. Yeah. So you go and marry your enemy. It's pathetic for you. So Igbo intention is expansionist, land grabber. They are criminally minded and they must be stopped. They must be stopped. They hate us. So we're appealing to Yoruba women. Actually, we're instructing you. You stop getting married to Igbo men. Stop all sexual relationship and marital relationship with Igbo men. If you do not, you think Nigeria will continue to be a going concern. You are going to be shocked by the time that this country will break. You will be shocked. You will see. If you marry your hater, it's pathetic. The same people, look at me now. I live in England. I have relative peace of mind. Let's just forget about this shit that the police have done to me in this country. I have relative peace of mind. I have electricity. I have internet. I have good health care. Everything is paid for through taxes anyway. But they are available, right? Then I sit down and said, oh, English are cowards. English are lazy. I live in their country. And I said to them, they are lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to do this. I came to their country. You see horrible Igbo. Half of their population live in Yoruba land. They are not living in their shit erosion rabbit space. They tell us that we are lazy. They say to us that we are cowards. People who are living in our space. It is like Yoruba in America saying, oh, the Caucasian are shit people. They are lazy. It's the same thing the Igbo are saying in South Africa, saying that South African people are lazy. South African people are not living in Igbo land. Very soon they will be telling you that the Chinese are lazy. These are illiterate set of people who lack human capital. People who cannot grow the economy of their own space. They are calling other people lazy. When you live in other people's homeland, we have allowed unity system to give unmerited power, access to Yoruba land by the Igbo. So folks, let me repeat this. The largest exporters of weapons in the world is the United States. The second largest exporter of weapons in the world is England. Fulani has the backing of the second largest exporter of weapons. You and I will continue to talk nonsense till their kingdom come if we do not get the support of the United States of America, the largest exporter of weapons. Bible doesn't save life when it comes to war. No. You need allies, friends. That is what it is. You need people that can support you. So if we must get power in 2023, we must negotiate with the United States of America. And I say one thing, if we blow up Apapa Wharf and think apart, it will not be functional for about 5 years. So what do? We take it after the war. We bring in American companies, Israeli companies to help us to rebuild it. When they rebuild it with their money, not our money. So we are now going to be indebted to them. Now let's give it a figure, say $100 million. It's going to be more than that. I'm just giving it a figure. So we are going to be indebted to a tune of $100 million. So how do we repay them back? We charge Middle Belt, Hausa Fulani, Kanuri, Niger Republic, and Chad Republic. We charge them for the use of our port to clear their goods. And we pay back America. It makes sense. So if we get weapons from America, it's the same thing. We go to war and defeat Hausa Fulani because America will give us the backbone. We share part of our wealth with them. We said, okay, take this 10% of our wealth. It makes sense. But what do you have now? Fulani with the backing of the English, still 100% of your wealth in Yoruba land. So every month they give you monthly allocation, security vote, constituency allowance. That amounts to only 8% of your wealth, Yoruba. So Fulani are actually stealing 92% of your wealth. So if you are very reasonable, you have common sense, you go to the United States of America, the largest exporter of weapons, you give them 10% of your wealth. They will help you to secure the remaining 90%. So it makes sense. Rather than for us to continue to manage this 8% of our wealth, we have no good healthcare. There's not even tap water. There's not even good roads. Because Fulani are stealing our wealth. We negotiate with America, we sign agreement, boom, they help us because they are the most powerful on earth. Fulani has no power. They are being supported by the English. So this is just a reminder to Yoruba women and to those who are always saying, oh, we cannot fight Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo together, idiots. Currently, Fulani will overrun the entire Yoruba land, can kill all of you. That is the truth, because they have the backing of the English. But let me tell you, how did you think that the Israel defeated 7 or 9 different countries in 7 days? Yeah, they defeated because they have the backing of the United States of America. So you expect Yoruba to go and challenge Fulani and Igbo at the same time without a ally? Idiots. You first get your friend. Ajá tó bá lẹ́ni lẹ́yìn ló ń pọ̀ bọ̀. Kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ Jésù, kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ Muhammed, kò help yín. Fake ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Àwọn Pentecostal yẹn kàn fi ń gbá yín ni. Ẹ̀yin obìnrin náà dè náà fi ń gbá. Wọ́n tún gbá yín, wọ́n tún bá yín sùn. But we're going to regulate all of those horrible people. Àwọn tó máa dàbọn bò lẹ́sẹ̀ tó máa sá ẹjọ́ wọ́n lè sọ pé àwọn ní Jésù wọn láwọn ní Bible. Ẹlòmíà máa gbàdúrà sínú omi, á ní kó máa fomi wẹ̀ pé ayé ẹ̀ máa dá. Lọ́dọ̀ pé kí ni gbogbo ojú títì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe dọ̀tí, ò ṣe lọ gbàdúrà sí Jésù kí gbogbo ojú títì yín kó dẹ̀ descend lọ, kí iṣẹ́ dẹ̀ wà lọ rẹpẹtẹ nítorí yín ti dàrú. So folks, to the Yoruba women, and I've addressed those people who say, no, we can't fight Igbo and Hausa Fulani. We have thought about the whole thing. If we do not get the support of America, they messed us up. But if we get the support of America, even Fulani will not fight. They will give up and say, let us go back to regional government. And Ariel Nokakanfo said it yesterday in his interview. He predicted it. He said, oh, look, with the noise that is going on around Oduduwa Republic, Fulani will just come. You know, it is English that are advising Fulani. Don't think it is not Fulani. Fulani don't have brain. English control them. English will just say, there's too much pressure about this Oduduwa Republic. Give them something. They will just say, oh, we are going back to regional government and give you shit thing. And they will come to rule you. Kò lè possible mọ̀ sẹ́, ibi tójú ti làdé ikú la máa fi pa àwọn Fúlàní àti Ìgbò, a máa pa wọ́n gan ni. And if you watch serial killer, which I've watched the video, people continue to say, let us change this thing. Let us change this thing. You continue to kill them. You continue to kill them. You continue to kill them. This is injustice. You continue to arrest them. You continue to arrest them. A generation will just spring up. Boom. It will shock everybody. Look at the kind of thing that we are saying. Look at the kind of information that we're pushing out. Because we've had enough. We've been pushed to the wall. So the only option is organized violence, and we are going to do it. A lot of people are going to die in Nigeria because this generation of Yoruba will fight the last man. So Yoruba women, if you see an Israeli Jewish with a child with an Arab father, you know the Israeli and Arab, they're always at loggerheads. They're always fighting war. They've been fighting for years, for generations. Look, the Scottish and English, they have always been fighting each other. All of these things that we're doing with Igbo, we have never had an agreement with these Igbo people. We don't like them. So if you have an Israeli mother who married an Arab father and they had a child, an Arab man rather, they had a child, that child will never the prime minister of the state of Israel. That child would never. He's an Arab man. So what do you think his policy will be? His policy will be to protect Palestinians, for instance. His policy will be to work with Iran, who have always been calling for the destruction of Israel. So you think the Israeli will jeopardize the future? But because Yoruba is an illiterate society, they have seen how Igbo abuses Awolowo, how they condemn Abiola, how they treated Farai, what they are calling Tinubu. Stupid Yoruba, they will say, they still line up, want to vote for Atiku and Obi. I want to want a budget. Let an Israeli woman go and marry an Arab man, and they have a child. That child can never amount to anything in Israel. There's this argument they say, when I was watching this guy that was pushing for this Midwest states, Godwin something. He said in that interview, he said that he's married to an Igbo woman. He's an Urobo guy. He said he's married to an Igbo woman. But he has lost his sense of reason. And he said, and I quote him, Igbo people are the only one who contributed to Nigeria. That is what he said. And they asked him, how? He said that it is only the Igbo people who will leave Igbo land to set up business in Kano, to set up business in Maiduguri, to set up business in Lagos, to set up business in Port Harcourt. That is how Igbo are the only one that contributed to Nigeria, according to this idiot. So for that reason, he claimed that the Igbo people are the only one who contributed the most to Nigeria. But if you ask them, simple question, why would someone leave his own space to set up business in another space? That's a fundamental question. The guy was saying, Igbo people are the only people that contributed to Nigeria. And the answer, the interviewer was very shocked. And this is a very common shit thing that they say. Stupid Urobo people. And majority of idiots, Igbo. But I do like Urobo, but sometimes, and this guy I'm going to speak about him, the deputy Senate president, I don't like some of their attitude. These are minority. Urobo people are 2 million, when Yoruba is 60 million. And they want to be telling us how to do things. Minority, we're coming back to that. But that's fake. To say that the Igbo people are the only people who contributed the most to Nigeria because they set up business in Kano, set up business in Maiduguri, set up business in Port Harcourt, set up business in Lagos. You ask yourself simple questions. Why will anybody leave his own space to go and set up business in another space? Look, Igbo don't have where they produce this glass cup in Igbo land, but they want to come and set up a glass cup industry in Lagos. No, be real. Does that make sense? They don't have industries in Igbo land where they are producing pen. They want to go and set up industry in Kano where they are producing pen. Does that make common sense? It doesn't. It is definitely not to provide help, but to make profit. You don't go and set up business to provide help. If there is no industry producing pen in Igbo land, why will any Igbo go and set up such an industry in Kano? It doesn't make it. The question you should ask yourself is this. Why? Another second one is this. Now, I've answered this and I hope you get it. Why would somebody leave his own space to go and set up business in another space? It is to make profit, right? That is the answer. The question one is this. Why is it that the Igbo cannot set up business in Igbo land and make profit therein? Because what the impression we have is that these guys they're everywhere in Nigeria. Why is it that they cannot stay in Igbo land to sell spare part so that Yoruba can come and patronize them? And we will have some dealers, some middlemen. Middlemen will go to Igbo land, buy the spare part, take it to Yoruba land, sell it to Yoruba men, for Yoruba men to be selling it in Yoruba land. Why must Igbo leave their space to come and do it? I told you it's to make profit. Why is it that they cannot make profit in their own space? So if they set up the business in Igbo land, why is it that they cannot make profit? It is because Igbo land is not sustainable for various reasons, which includes poverty, lack of human capital, political instability, and economic instability. I will not want to explain more about that. I think you get it. Now, the third question is this. When they move out, they set up business in the new space. How do they get capital? This is the third question you need to ask them. I keep asking myself, how do they get the capital that they cannot set up that same business in their own space? We know how they get the capital. They're not bringing the capital from their space. They don't borrow money from anywhere. They just go to Kano, go to Maduguri, come to Lagos, go to Port Harcourt to do crime. But the Kano people, the Maduguri people, and Port Harcourt people, they have stopped them. They come to do crime, they kill them. It is only in Yoruba land that we continue to allow them to come to our space to do crime, and we have refused to stop them. So the narration is very wrong that it is only the Igbo that contributed to Nigeria because they go to Kano to set up business. They go to Maiduguri to set up business. They come to Lagos to set up business. To come to Port Harcourt to set up business. Why is it that they cannot set up the same businesses in their own space? Why is it that they can't do it? If they have the money to leave their space to set up businesses in other people's space, why can't they use that money to make their space great? Folks, they don't have the money. They don't have the human capital. They don't have the means to set up business in Igbo land. They come to Yoruba land to look for a way to be progressive. And because everywhere is difficult, they go into crime. That's why you go to church, Yoruba. Olúwa Elédùmarè, ọlọ́jọ́ ìní Ọlọ́run ọba o, ṣàánú mi lọ́wọ́ àwọn amrọ̀bà, má má jẹ́ kí n rógun amrọ̀bì o, má jẹ́ káwọn amrọ̀bà wá bá mi nínú ilé o, Olúwa Elédùmarè ṣàánú mi o. Igbo are coming to Yoruba land and they are killing you. Àdúrà ẹ ò lè gbà. Tó bá fẹ́ kádúrà ẹ gbà, you tell your governors in Yoruba land to stop the mass migration of the Igbo. You go to church, Olúwa Elédùmarè, ọmọ mi ń ṣàìsàn. Jésù Ọlọ́run o, ẹ bá mi heal ọmọ yìí o. Your fake pastor will be praying into water. Ṣàánú fún mi, ṣàánú fún mi. But your child has taken fake drug and is going to die. So the prayer will not work. So if you want your child to be healed, you tell your government in Yoruba land to regulate pharmaceutical sectors in Yoruba land, not to allow Igbo to dispense drugs. So you won't need Jesus Christ to say, oh, your child is sick. You go to church, you said you can't have jobs. Olúwa Elédùmarè ṣàánú mi. Ọba ògo ọmọ mi ti graduate, ó ti pẹ́ 4 years, ó ti graduate Jésù Olúwa ọba. Ọmọ yìí ní first class kò ní ṣe Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi. You said to your governor, your prayer will not be answered. Because people are trooping into your space to compete for the same number of jobs with your children in Yoruba land. They have refused to stay in their own space. So your children will be out of job. You go to church and pray to God to give your child job. When Fulani control the military in Yoruba land, they control the police, they control the custom, they control the waterways, they control all the federal government jobs in Yoruba land. Your child is not going to get a job. It is not prayer. It's common sense. All these Pentecostal pastors are fooling you. They are fooling you. You go to church, you say, Olúwa Elédùmarè, mo ti pé 32 years mi rí ìyàwó. Olúwa Elédùmarè ṣàánú mi. Mo fẹ́ bímọ kí n tó pé 35. Ṣàánú mi, Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè ṣàánú mi. How do you want to get a husband when the Yoruba men can't find job? When Fulani have control all of the jobs? When Igbo armed robbers are everywhere killing Yoruba men? We're losing them to Igbo armed robbery attack. Your prayer would never be answered until you said to your governor, regulate the mass migration of the people coming into your space. Common sense. What you people term as spiritual problems are actually political, economic, and societal problems that needs to be regulated by a simple policy. If we go back to regional government, Majority of the Yoruba women with no husband, you will have husband because these guys will be able to have jobs. And when a man has a job, there's dignity attached to it. He will be proud to get married. You pray to Jesus Christ till eternity, you won't get husband. Your child will be taking fake drug. You pray to Jesus Christ. You understand? You understand? When Igbo move out of their space, they tell you they are setting up businesses in Kano. Make your space great. Stop setting up businesses in Kano. If your businesses is legitimate and genuine, the people in Kano will come and purchase your goods and services from Igbo land and take it back to their space and serve to the people who want. You don't have to move out. You are moving out because Igbo land is not sustainable. You are moving out because there is political instability in Igbo land. You are moving out because there is economic instability in Igbo land. You are going to other people's spaces to commit crime. You use the proceeds of the crime to set up business. You are not bringing money from your whole space to do anybody a favor. You are actually damaging your Yoruba land. You are actually destroying the fabric of our society. So Igbo have to be regulated in Yoruba land. If they continue to come to Yoruba land, believe you me, there is no amount of praying to Jesus Christ that will salvage your life. You are going to be destroyed. You are going to be destroyed. I have a couple of things that I'm going to say, but we have 1 hour 27 minutes right now. I might not be able to talk about Ariel Nakakan for what he spoke about yesterday. But now let me say this. I'll say this to the Yoruba nation when we will have to switch some of these things that we do. And if I ask us this problem as Yoruba people, and because I don't do about Nigeria, I don't like the country. It's a horrible country. And I ask you these questions, and I hope our people at home will answer. And you help me to you guys help me to write the question down. I'm I'm actually more on Facebook today. Madam Folashade, thank you so much. I'm just seeing you, comrade. Following you too. Thank you so much. If I ask these simple questions, you see, a number of Yoruba liberals will never get it. What is our problem in Nigeria? We have two major problems. Two major problems. Now I've wrote this about because some young guys who supported Shore, they approached me and said they like me. Really? Said, okay, fine. They said, sure, I would like us to work together. I will say, great. And I went there because I don't pretend. I said, one, I don't like sure. Yeah, in 2015, when I was beaten up by the police here in England, sure sheets paper, fucking propaganda paper, Sahara reporter, through Kadi Ogundamisi, a horrible guy. They wrote 2 articles against me saying that I have stabbed somebody, saying that I have raped somebody. It was a fake. They're fake news. I said, I don't like them. They're just fake guys. They just do shit things. And they said they like me, they've watched my video. Yeah, you have to be conservative. If you support Sure, you are pro one Nigeria because Sure is pro one Nigeria. I'm not pro one Nigeria, I'm anti one Nigeria. I'm pro Yoruba. So I asked them one simple questions and they all failed woefully. I said, what is Nigerian problem? They've been following Sure for donkey years now. Because all they do is Aluta. Oh, Aluta and university. We are out of university now. Why are you still doing Aluta? That's what they do. One simple question. You know the answer. But they said that the old people are ruling us. Old people are ruling us. It's a common shit answers. People who cannot think. I've been saying to Yoruba Nation, one problem for us to solve is that we should always appoint brilliant mind as political leaders, as elected politicians, brilliant mind. White people don't waste great mind. They use them to make their space great. Because Showore can talk shit all about it. It's not a brilliant mind. That is it. So this is what I said to them. They said, oh, the old people are ruling us. And I said to them, look, Yaya Bello became a governor at the age of 40. What exactly is that guy? What is his performance? Yaya Bello of Kogi. Ayim Pius Ayim became a Senate president at the age of 39. It is Showore guys that are approaching us, telling us that, oh, it is old people ruling us. Dimeji Bankole, he was elected into the House of Representatives at the age of 34. He became the Speaker of House of Representatives at the age of 38. Orji Uzokalu, Igbo, they have never condemned that guy for 1 minute. He was the one ruling them in Abia State or thereabouts. Orji Uzokalu, a fucking common criminal. You know, Orji Uzokalu murders is Obasanjo's girlfriend. Orji Uzokalu became governor at the age of 39. Donald Duke, he was elected governor at the age of 38. I'm speaking about this because of the Showore guys that are disturbing me. All of these people that I've mentioned their name, do they do anything extraordinary? Do they perform any wonder? Do they govern with dignity? No, they did nothing exceptional. So our problem is not the age of the candidates. Those who destroy Nigeria were youths like you and I. The people who destroyed regional government and instituted unitary system were youths. The first actor of the 1966 coup was Chukwuma Eziogu. He was only 29 years old. The greatest beneficiary of that coup plot was another Igbo, Aguiyi Ironsi. He was only 42 years old. People who destroyed Nigeria were youths. Yakubu Gowon is the Gowon that is you all see today. When he took over power after the killing of Aguiyi Ironsi, Yakubu Gowon was only 32 years. The people who destroyed Nigeria were young minds. They were horrible. They did nothing exceptional. So the Showore people that were coming to me and said, we need young minds to rule us. Shouting not too young to rule. You are actually stupid people with no sense of history. Young people destroy the regional government. Showore has never advocated for regional government. He's pro one Nigeria, a minority job want to rule over Yoruba as president. I'm going to talk about that now. So, folks, our problem is not age. Orji Uzokalu, like I said to you, was 39 years old. Dimeji Bankole was 38 years old as speaker. Donald Duke was 38 years old when he became governor. Yaya Bello became governor at the age of 40. So don't tell us that people who are ruling us are too old. Our problem is not age. I lectured those guys from Showa's gang, and I didn't bring them into YYF because I don't like Libra. I said to them point blank, you will never join YYF. We don't want everybody. We want conservatives. So when we are having our meeting, we meet we do the same thing. We think the same way. So we bring Libra into our groups. We are going to be saying about Igbo. Libra will be saying about something else. We will never achieve our aim. Look at the beautiful things that we have been doing gradually, gradually, gradually. We're conservative. We wholly incorporate conservative mind into our movements. And we support APC. We don't pretend about it. I said to those guys that age is not the problem. Our problem is not religion. Our problem is not tribalism, because the tribalism they use is derogatory anyway. They call people like us tribalists. I mean nationalists. I like Punch for giving me that, for correcting that, because Cable reported me as a Yoruba supremacist. Punch report changed it. Punch said that I am not a Yoruba supremacist, I'm a Yoruba nationalist. That's why I love Punch. And I read Punch since I've been 15 years old. So our problem is not tribalism. We have two problems that I said to you. Folks, those guys, sure guys, they don't know the problem of Nigeria. Number one problem of Nigeria is that Nigeria is the only country on this planet Earth where minority rule over majority. There is no country anywhere else where minority is the one presiding over majority. No, Nigeria is the only country. It's our number one problem. Fulani are minority ruling over majority Yoruba. The Yoruba population is 60 million. When we supply this, when I made this statement, look, I have source for this information. My source is from a German website, and we have refused to share that information to you at the moment. Because when we share the information of the CIA World Fact Book, stupid Nigerian Population Census Commission approached the CIA World Fact Book to change the data. Yoruba has the majority population. Another German firm has conducted a research. We are not going to share you this link. It says that Yoruba is 60 million. We are the majority. Hausa and Fulani, they are 49.4 million. Fulani are not up to 10 million. Igbo people are 40 million. And then you see, Igbo people are illiterate. Yeah, because they don't go to school. They would rather go and learn how to sell Google and Ekpa. When we say Yoruba 60 million, it is the population of the people living in Yoruba land. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, and all of that, because you are trooping into our space. We don't trooping into your space. Yeah, you all want to come and die in Yoruba land. That's why we have the huge population, and it is to our credit. Ijaw people, they are 14 million. Efik Ibibio, 14.1 million. Bagi people, 8 million. Kanori people, 7.4 million. Edo Urobo people, 7 million. Because I'm going to be making reference to the Deputy Senate President. Now, let me say this. Edo is 5 million. Urobo is 2 million. Yoruba is 60 million. I'm going to come to that because our number one problem is minority ruling in Nigeria. There is no country that has happened. Thief people, they are 5.6 million. Nupe people, 4.5 million. Idoma people, 4.2 million. Egbira and Igala people, 3.5 million. Bariba and Busawa people, 3.4 million. Birom and Angas people, 2.2 million. And Adamawa people, 1.5 million. Adamawa people included Junkun, Mumuye, Jemba, and the rest of them. Now, these are the 15 nations that made up the union called Nigeria. So Yoruba is the majority. If you look at the population from Efik Ibibio, Bagi, Kanuri, Edo Urobo, Tiv, Nupe, Idoma, Ebira, and Igala, Bariba and Busawa people, Birom and Anga people, and Adamawa people. If you had all of their population together, 11 different nations, you had their population together, they are equivalent to Yoruba 60 million. Look how powerful we are as Yoruba people. If you had the population of Igbo and Ijaw together, it will come to 54 million when Yoruba is 60 million. Look at how powerful you are, Yoruba. Fulani and Hausa, they are 49.4 million. Aside the fact that Yoruba has the majority in Nigeria, Yoruba is the economic backbone of Nigeria. The Lagos GDP alone is 40%. That of Ogun is 20%. Two Yoruba states, 60% GDP. If you had the remaining Yoruba state, Yoruba has 80% of the gross domestic product of Nigeria. That is the size of the Nigerian economy. Yoruba, you are contributing 80% of Nigeria GDP. You are the brain, the engine of Nigeria. You take Yoruba land out of Nigeria, will become the second largest economy in Africa. That is the power. Aside that, we contribute 49% of the national revenue of the federal government, which is coming from 7 major sources: NNPC, Custom, NIMASA, MPA, CBN, Federal Inland Revenue, and the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas. We Yoruba contributing 49% of every 100 naira spent by the federal government of Nigeria. Now, you cannot rule in such a society. That's why Nigeria is the way it is. In the United States, the white people are the majority, which is 73%. They produce the president, they produce the vice president, they control the Congress, they control the Senate, they control the judiciary, they control everything in America, white people. They control black. They don't zone anything with black. They don't share power with black people. They are the majority. In every society, majority rules, but minority rights are respected. That is the reason why in America, the Native Americans, even though they are 0.9%, they are allowed to go hunting, but white America are not, black America are not. Because why? Because America is their homeland, the Native America. That is what they desire to do. It is part of their culture to hunt. So the Constitution guaranteed them that right. Minority rights are always protected. Police in America, they cannot go to Native Americans' house. They cannot. This is not about stand your ground policy. Police cannot because it is part of their culture. So the Constitution respects it, even though their minority is 0.9% of the population. So minority do not rule, but their rights are always respected. If you look to the United Kingdom, it is this country that created Nigeria. God Almighty did not create Nigeria. Don't mind these stupid Pentecostal pastors. They will say to you that it is God that created Nigeria. Nigeria was created by white people in UK. Yet we did not create their own country. In the United Kingdom, they have 4 nations. England, their population is 84%. Scotland, they have 8.4% of the population. Wales have 4.7%, and Northern Ireland 2.8%. It is English that are ruling. I live here, so I know. English will be the prime minister. English is the queen. English control the House of Commons. English control the House of Lords. English control the Ministry of Justice. English control everything. They don't share power with Scottish. They don't share power with Scottish. Everywhere in the world, majority rules, but minority rights are always respected. The number one problem of Nigeria is that minority Fulani are the one ruling you. You will never have peace. You will always be fighting. You will never have development. So Showore guys, they have no fucking common sense. We don't even want you in YY, believe you me. It's a policy that we are choosing. We just want conservative. You have to think Yoruba first. There is no Modaru. If you cannot think Yoruba first, why should we bring you in and you bring us down? You continue to have negative energy? No, because we are reading. We read a lot. Don't think that we don't want to go to pub. We don't want to go to club. We don't want to run after women. We have time for all of this. But majority of our time we spend to articulate how we are going to grow the economic of Yoruba land, how we're going to make our space great so that our descendants, who are our children, will be proud of us. The number one problem of Nigeria is minority ruling over majority. Look, this is why I said to you, Fulani are minority. They are not up to 10 million population. Yoruba is 60 million. Fulani is the president of Nigeria. It is like African American being president of the United States. It is like Scottish being prime minister of the United Kingdom. Do you know? Try to think about it. Minority black people ruling in America, they will mess up the whites. Minority Scottish ruling over English in UK, they will mess up that country. Who is the Senate president? Minority Kanuri. Yeah. Kanuri has 7.4 million of the population, when Yoruba is 60 million. Who is the deputy Senate president? Minority Urobo. Urobo man is the deputy Senate president. Urobo are just 2 million population. Why do you zone things in Nigeria? If you cannot allow the majority Yoruba to rule, let us break up the country. It is like in America, they said, okay, President Trump, because you are white, your vice president will be black. And they now said, okay, the Native American will be in charge of Congress. Does that make common sense? It's like saying, oh, in UK, Boris Johnson, because you are white, uh, the Speaker of the House of Commons will be Scottish, and the Speaker of the House of Lords will be Welsh. No, go there. The leader of the House of Lords is English. The Speaker of the House of Commons is English. Boris Johnson is English. In a society, majority rule, minority rights are respected. Urobo are not supposed to be deputy Senate president. Kanuri cannot be Senate president. You zone everything in Nigeria. You share things because you are corrupt, because you want to suppress the Yoruba people. So that is one thing I'm saying to you. From 2023, Yoruba is ruling Nigeria. We are not sharing political posts. How can Urobo 2 million be this deputy Senate president? How can Kanuri with 7 million, 7.4 million be the Senate president when Yoruba is 60 million? Can that nonsense happen in America to white people? How can Fulani with 10 million population be the president of Nigeria? Number one problem of Nigeria is minority ruling. That country will never be great. You continue to mess up and kill yourself and fight and fight and fight. Imagine if Yoruba is the president. You have 60 million population. He's going to give you a return to regional government because that is what the Yoruba nation wants. The white in America, they are the majority. They desire federalism. That is why America is a federal state. The English is the majority. They desire the system they are practicing in England, in UK today. You put a Yoruba as the president of Nigeria, he's going to give you regional government because that is what the majority Yoruba want. But Fulani minority, they don't want regional government. Igbo don't want regional government. That was why I disagree with this guy, Omo Agege, who is the deputy senate president, saying that we are going to adopt the 36 states as the federating unit. It's crazy. A 2 million man, Urobo people are 2 million. The Yoruba 60 million are saying we don't want this 36 states. We want regions. Yoruba region, Igbo region, Hausa region, Kanuri region, Edo Urobo region, Bagi region, Tif region. This is what we want. But Omo Agege is saying nonsense in an interview, saying that we must adopt the 36 state structure. A man with 2 million population telling me with 60 million population, he would dictate to me. Minority are ruling you. That is the number one problem of Nigeria. There is no country. Go to Germany. Go to all the country. Show us where minority is the leader of such a nation. You will never be great. So that's why we're going to kill ourselves. Because my generation can no longer accept this. You see, to the Yoruba people who are Libra, crazy, crazy guy. When a white American police shot and killed an African American, Yoruba Libra, they will be supporting that African American, saying what the white are doing is wrong. That's what they will be saying that is bad. But the reality is this: white in America, they are majority. Majority can do anything, but they will always protect the right of the minority. But in Nigeria, the Fulani are minority, but they will kill, Fulani police will kill a Yoruba citizen. Yoruba are majority, but the Yoruba liberal will not say anything about that. They will keep quiet. How can minority be policing Yoruba land? You see that? Is that a stupidity? Minority people ruling. One sec. Yeah, I can get that. But let's continue. Everything seems to be fine. Guys, I'm being told that I'm not drinking water. Yoruba women are falling in love with us now because we're fighting for them. You understand? So you see, that is the attitude of the Yoruba crazy Libras. They don't like people who have white skin. So they said to you, oh, it is wrong for white police officer to shoot and kill an African American. Whites are majority in America. Black people in America are minority. So you expect such a thing to happen, but not every other time. But come back to Nigeria. Minority Fulani are the one policing Yoruba. So they shot and killed several Yoruba people, including my late elder brothers. But do you see the Yoruba Libra going against that? No, they keep their mouth shut. They are horrible people. The number one problem of Nigeria is minority ruling over majority. War is coming to that country. There's nothing the English can do. Believe you me, there's nothing the English can do. Now you know number one problem of Nigeria. Sure as boys don't know this. They said, oh, old people ruling us. Look at the way I interjected everything. I brought in the younger people that are ruling us now, the younger people who destroy Nigeria, and I introduced the questions to them, which they fail woefully. The only thing they just do is to smoke Igbo, and then they just go onto the streets protesting, fighting. My mother was carrying placard over June 12th struggle. Fulani will come with hammer, tank, gun, spray everybody. So my generation should now adopt the stupidity of my parent generation and started carrying placard. No, we're going to do it with weapons so that we can face these people. The second problem of Nigeria, you see, you know this, conservative know this. It is the political system that we are practicing. Nigeria is a multi-ethnic society. In a multi-ethnic society, you do not use unitary system because all of you do not have the same language. You do not have the same culture. You do not have the same tradition. You do not have the same norms and value system. You practice federalism or regional government. It is the same thing. It's just interchangeable. So the political system we are practicing in Nigeria is the second and final problem of this country called Nigeria. In the United States of America, nine people establish the United States of America. Nine people. English, French, the Germans, the Spanish, the Italian, the Belgian, I think the Portuguese, seven, not nine. The Portuguese. They left their respective countries in Europe because they antagonized the Roman Empire, because they don't want to be Catholic, because they don't like kings ruling over them. They were being persecuted. They ran away to America, took the land from the natives, and said to themselves, we are going to practice federalism, simply meaning that you Germans, this is your state, you control everything. You French, this is your state, you control everything. You English, this is your state, you control everything. You Spanish, you Portuguese. That was how they decided. So in America today, you look at a state like California, they control their own police, they control their own military. They control their own justice system. They have courts from the lowest court to the Supreme Court. They control their own taxes. They control everything. They have senates in the states in America. Every state in America is a nation on its own. So what do they agree on? Each state will contribute a percentage of its revenue to the federal government of America. because they were different people who left their different homeland. They agreed to federalism. If you look at the United Kingdom today, four people came together to establish what you and I call the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. In 1535, the English met with the Welsh and said, let us become one. The Welsh said, give me some time, let me think about it. By 1545, the Welsh went back to the English and said, it's a good idea. So the English and the Welsh merged together. Then in 1701, the English and the Welsh approached the Scottish and said, come and join our union. We're doing well. It will help you. The Scottish said, give us some time. We'll think about it. By 1706, the Scottish joined the union. Then the Irish saw the beautiful union and said, I would like to join you guys. And in 1801, the Irish joined. That was how they became the Great Britain, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. But something happened. In 1922, the Irish said, no, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And they opted out. So they became what you and I know today as the Republic of Ireland. In the United Kingdom, they are practicing regional government. The Scottish have their own parliament. They have their own football team. They have their own judiciary. They have their own police. They have their own military. They even have their own currency design. The same thing in Wales. The same thing in England. The same thing in Northern Ireland. Every one of them, they have their respective governments. But the horrible evil and the Fulani destroyed that beautiful system that we had in Nigeria. They destroyed regional government and said that because we all have black skin, we are one and the same. Yet I speak Yoruba, the horrible Igbo, they speak Igbo. I don't even hear it. The other one speaks Hausa. The other one speaks Kanuri. The other one speaks Ijaw. And you say because we are black people, we are one and the same. We are crazy people. Seven white European countries left their respective country to the United States of America. They created a beautiful system called the United. That is people coming together to agree. The UK called their own the United. That means they agreed. We in Nigeria, between 1957 and 1959, we agreed to parliamentary system based on regional government. Horrible Igbo animals, people who hit human beings. They came 6 years later and destroyed everything. And Fulani went to the English and said that help us to kill this unity system. The English establishment are horrible. Very cunning people. Why will you continue to support Fulani who are suppressing and subjugating other people? And you said that your land is the land of the free. America said that anyway. But they also say that they pride themselves. But I like their judiciary in England. Believe me, they are the best. Yeah, I've been there several times. I go, I just express myself. If you guys come to court on the 3rd of March, Westminster Magistrate Court, if you guys come to court, you'll see me in action. I will talk beautifully to the judge. Because the last time we were in court, March 4, the judge was saying, oh, don't use inflammatory language. I said to the judge, I use beautiful, colorful language. But it is to stop war. If they don't want war, they let us go back to regional government. So I'm going to be speaking beautifully to the judge. And I hope the judge will be reasonable with me. So you see, guys, we have two problems in Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country where minority rules over others. They rule over majority. There's nowhere on planet Earth that can happen. Yoruba is the majority. We ought to be president of Nigeria. So it is insulting to see Omo Agege, an Urobo man with 2 million population, saying to the Yoruba 60 million that we are going to adopt 36 states as the federating union. We don't want that. We want the federal government at Abuja. We want the regional government. Inside the regional government, we want the state. Inside the state, we want the local government. Inside the local government, we want the wards. Inside each word, we want native authority. This is what we, the majority Yoruba, want. If the minority don't like it, they should fuck off. Go and have your country. Let us break Nigeria. It is not that black people are actually bad or unreasonable, useless. It is just that the Igbo are the animals. They are horrible. If you read a lot about Igbo, I challenge Yoruba women opening their legs for Igbo. Go and read that book. Among the Igbos of Nigeria. It was first published in 1901. It was republished in 1921. Go and read. You will see the mind of these horrible animals. They said that we are one Nigeria. They just destroyed the system, a beautiful system. So they tell you, oh, the amalgamation is shit. The amalgamation is not shit. It's not shit. We agreed to a union of Nigeria based on regional government. Nobody agrees to this 36-state structure. It is why we are poor, miserable, fighting, and killing each other. That's why we have a problem. So Showore boys, I don't know what Showore is teaching them. If you ask any YYF member, he will speak eloquently the way I have done as for the problem of Nigeria. We have two problems: minority ruling us and the political system. Let me say this to young Yoruba. I don't think I'll have time to, I might have to speak about Ariana Kakanfo's speech. It's not really something that we've watched the video. It's not really something that we want to speak about. And let me take this moment to read what some of you are saying. Okay. So look, some of you who are on Facebook, I can't read your comments. Yeah, I read it. Page 40 of that book. When I was reading that book, so it's very voluminous. You can only read when you are relaxed, no anxiety, and you've had your day walk. I read when I got to that section how the Igbo were hitting human beings. Shocking. And these are the people that will say that they are industrious, they are this and that, pride themselves. Hitting human beings. That's why they don't have ordinary common sense. They just disorganize things. They disorganize people's life. They are armed robbers. Somebody will go and carry drug to go to Saudi Arabia, where you know that you are going to be killed if you are caught, and he will still do it. They don't value human dignity because they lack human capital. They are willing to waste it. So, folks, let me say this. This we were talking to one of my colleagues in Huawei. I want to say to Yoruba people because election is coming. I don't know whether I should even talk about that anyway. See, I said to people, when we do research, we do find this. See, whenever the Democratic Party in America, whenever they are in power, they antagonize Yoruba nation. They don't like us because they know that we are the economic backbone of Nigeria. So they rather work with the Democrat. This is one thing I need to correct the office of Ariana Gagan for making a mistake, saying that the Fulani, everybody knows that the English supports the Fulani, but Ariana Gagan was saying that American also support the Fulani. No, it's wrong. It is the Democratic Party in America that always support Fulani. We Yoruba should negotiate with the Republican Party, even though Tinubu did negotiated with the Democratic Party during the election of 2015, but it wasn't really impressive. Whenever the Democratic Party is in power in America, believe you me, the Yoruba nation, we have always had a problem. And we had a fight about it. We just don't make statement. When a state of emergency was declared in Yoruba land on the 29th of May, 1962, John F. Kennedy, a Democrat, was the president of America. That was when the Awusa Fulani and the Igbo declared a state of emergency. 15,528 Yoruba women, children, and men were killed between 1962 and 1964. They were protesting the imprisonment of Awolowo. People kill us a lot. And believe you me, it is our generation that will take revenge for what we've done. So you see, when they did that, declared a state of emergency, the Democrats, the Democratic Party was in power. When Awolowo was arrested in September 1962, allegedly for planning to remove Balewa and Zik from power. Again, John F. Kennedy, a Democrat, was the president of America. Whenever we have problem in Yoruba land, the Democrats people were always in power. When Awolowo was in prison in September 1963 on a false allegation of treason, again, John F. Kennedy, a Democrat, was the president of America. When Akintola, our second prime minister in Yoruba land, when he was assassinated by the Igbo on the 15th of January 1966, Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, was the president of the United States of America. When the presidential election of 1979 was rigged against Awolowo, Jimmy Carter, a Democrat, was the president of the United States of America. That election of 1979, Awolowo actually won that election. Awolowo obtained 5 million votes. Shagari obtained 5.4 million votes. It was declared that Shagari defeated Awolowo with 400,000 votes. But these votes were rigged in Hausa Fulani land and Igbo land. Igbo and Hausa Fulani never voted for Abiola. They did not. But the elections were massively rigged in Igbo land and Hausa Fulani land. Awolowo went to court. Rather than for a rerun to take place, the judge said that half human being can actually vote. That was when the concept of 12-2 thought came to be. Is it possible for a half human being to cast a vote? It is not possible. But that became a reality because the Democrats in America didn't support the Yoruba then. If the Democratic Party in America had issued a statement to Obasanjo that that election cannot hold because a half human being cannot be counted as a voter, Awolowo could have regained his stolen mandate. But the Democrats were in power. They are shit people. They pretended as if they love black people. They don't like it. They support Fulani. It is the Democratic Party that are always supporting Fulani. Go do that. If President Trump wins a second term, believe you me, Tinubu will be president then. We are likely to get to the Dual Republic before President Trump leaves power. At the very least, we get a return to regional government. When the election of Abiola was annulled in 1993, shockingly, Bill Clinton, another Democrat, was the president of America. Abiola won the election. He won resoundingly. But that election was annulled by Igbo and Fulani. Bill Clinton did not say anything. He's a fucked up Democrat. Democrats don't like you, Yoruba. If you don't read, you have no sense of history, you will continue to make mistakes. That's why you want to vote for Democrat because you are black. No. Think about self-interest, self-preservation. Whenever the Republicans are in power, things work smoothly well for Yoruba nation. So you don't vote into power people that will destroy you. I don't like Democratic Party. When Obama was there, I supported him first time, but I was saying to my brother-in-law then that he's going to win. My brother-in-law said he's not going to win. We bet, and I won. Before the second time came, I was just rejecting the guy. I said it's hopeless. And it's hopeless because he's black. He wanted me to support him. He's a shit guy. He helped Buhari to power, by the way, because he threatened to assassinate Jonathan. And Jonathan was a very weak guy. He ought to have approached the Republican for help. So when Abiola election was annulled, Bill Clinton was in power, a Democrat. When Abiola was assassinated in 1998, again, Bill Clinton, a Democrat, was the president of the United States. So you vote, you Yoruba, you go and vote for Democrat in America, you are voting for people who will destroy you. When the presidential election of 1999 was rigged against Olufalaye, Bill Clinton, a Democrat, was the president of the United States of America. That election was rigged. Olufalaye was voted for across Nigeria. The Igbo did not vote for him. Fulani, Hausa Fulani did not vote for him. On the other hand, whenever the Republicans are in power in the United States, Yoruba land has always been progressive. We have evidence. For example, when Yoruba land attained self-rule from the English colonial Turks and elected its first premier in 1954, Dwight S. Howe, a Republican, was the president of the United States. I can't pronounce that name very well. When the entire governorship election in Yoruba land were rigged by Obasanjo and Igbo, but the ultimate prize, which is Lagos, did not fall in 2023 and in 2003. George Bush, a Republican, was the president of the United States of America. Obasanjo rigged all the election in 2003, but the ultimate prize that the Igbo were looking for, Lagos, did not fall. It was because the Republican was in power then. It is increasingly likely that President Trump, a Republican, will be in power beyond 2023 when it is expected of a full-blooded Yoruba citizen to be elected the president of Nigeria in the person of Tinubu. So like we say, and we always say, the Yoruba in America should always vote for the Republican Party. It is all about self-preservation, folks. But if you don't vote for them, you are going to undermine your own greatness. So, cheers to President Tinubu for President Tinubu 2023, and cheers to President Trump for second term. Folks, we spent so much time. I've actually written some things about. You see, let me just say this, and then I'll freestyle about it, because I have a draft of it before. You know, okay, I'm not going to say this. I just need to correct this one. When Iba Gani Adam was speaking yesterday, he spoke a lot. But while we'll agree with the fact that he has changed his tone, because 2 months ago we said the young Yoruba for freedom will severe relationship with the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò if he continues not to openly condemn the evil for their criminality. Yesterday he spoke, and he did condemn the evil. We also said that we're going to severe our relationship with the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò if we continue to use this personal problem with Tinubu to affect the collective good of the Yoruba nation. He spoke as well. He showed some respect to Tinubu, but we still disagree with the way and manner he painted the person of Tinubu. He still continued to say that Tinubu is corrupt, which we found to be very wrong of him to say that. In one hand, he wants the unity of the Yoruba nation. In the other hand, he continued to condemn Tinubu, saying that Fulani will not give power to somebody that is intelligent, smart, a very proactive administrators, and somebody who know how to steal money. He used that word. It's wrong. He was referring to Tinubu. But you see, when you look at the office of the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò saying that Fulani will not give up power, now the question you need to ask Iba Gani Adam is this: you know this already, so how do you wish to safeguard and protect the interests and welfare of the Yoruba nation when you already know that Fulani will not give up power? That is when we have to plan for war, because we can no longer continue with minority Fulani ruling over us. So the idea that the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò is still coming out, it's moved away from his stand, which we appreciate, but we're not happy with some of the way he has addressed the issue around Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Aside the fact that Asiwaju is 68, Iba Gani Adam just turned 50, and then he should show some respect to Asiwaju, which he's going to do eventually, because I can see that he's changing. But we are still not impressed that he continues to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. We feel that Ààrẹ should understand psychological warfare that Fulani are using. Fulani don't have friends everywhere in the world. The only people that are supporting Fulani are the English. and they are supporting Fulani to control our wealth. That is the truth. So now that Ariel Onokakanfu has agreed to our own statement that the English are the problem externally, he should be thinking of working with Tinubu so that both can negotiate with the United States of America to free the Yoruba nation. Now we want to say to Iba Gani Adam that it is wrong that the English are still a power to reckon with. Believe you me, they're not. They used to be powerful. They are not anymore. When they were still part of the EU, it was the French and the Germans who dominate, who dictate, not English. I remember and I recollect very vividly when Tony Blair met George Bush after Tony Blair became the prime minister. Tony Blair was shaking. He was visibly shaking. He had so much enormous respect for Tony Blair. And Ariana Gaga was saying that America will always consult with England on everything, before they make decision. That is not correct. Even Boris Johnson, when he met with President Trump, he couldn't look at him in the face at some point. And then we need to remind the people, particularly the young Yoruba, that there's no English who has been president of the United States since the end of the American Revolution, because English were defeated. But we do appreciate the fact that Ariana Kakanfo has spoken out for the first time since he became Ariana Kakanfo of Yoruba land. He has spoken out against the Igbo criminality, and I've decided not to share it because I do not support this Heritage Multimedia TV. They are a liberal platform. We do not wish to be seen as supporting the Libra. But if you guys want to watch it, it's the Heritage Multimedia TV on Facebook. You can see the video. So we are very impressed that Ariana Kakanfo has spoken out for the first time against the Igbo criminality in Yoruba land. And then it was from that interview that I realized that Konjo Iweala was actually calling Yoruba people Amala people. And that Ariana Kakanfo specifically stated that Okonjo Iweala, when he was the minister and when the Igbo were controlling the CBN, they only gave their people loan to do business and they didn't give to Yoruba people. Ariana Kakanfo said it in that interview. We've said to Ariana Kakanfo office that the young Yoruba for freedom, we speak for the conservative young Yoruba. And we're going to undermine his authority, we're going to undermine his office, but it's not something we intended to do. I respect him so much. I used to have three posters on my wall, that of Abiola when I was in secondary school, that of Ken Saro-Wiwa, and Abiola Ken Saro-Wiwa. I don't actually have a Awolowo. I think I have that of Ariel Okakamfo, if I can still recollect. He's done greatly for the Yoruba nation. We cannot condemn that. We will have to appreciate it. But we want the office of Ariel Okakamfo to understand psychological warfare, for him to know more about self-preservation. The idea that Tinubu is corrupt is not the best way for us to. And I would like to appeal to him again. We're both from Akoko, and he's from Arigidi Akoko. I'm from Okakoko. We're both from Akoko. And he should think about self-preservation. He should let us resolve our differences, and he should work with Tinubu. But we are calling on him specifically to severe working relationship with the PDP. We do notice that he's impressed with Arakunrin governor, those states, and then Governor Fayemi in the Ekiti state. People don't know that Governor Fayemi launched my book some time ago in London. People still don't know that. And I know he was very impressed with those two governors from his statement. I have a lot of things that YYF has done about that speech, but I don't really want to talk about that. I do know that Ariel Negagafo is still within the camp of the Libra, which I'm not very impressed with, because he has always stood the test of time with the Yoruba nation. He's a conservative to the core, hobnobbing with the PDP, hobnobbing with the Libra in Yoruba land. It will make some of the effort he has put into the defense of the Yoruba nation to be jeopardized. For us here, we just want one thing. We want power share in Yoruba land. We want both the conservative and the liberal to work for Tinubu to get the presidency. And then we share power within the region. It's all about money. We share the money and we spend it for the good of our descendants. And we make Yoruba land great. So for us, as YYF, we will continue to understudy Iron Okakanfo's speeches, interview, and we'll continue to speak about it because we made a conscious decision that we will speak out against that office if we found anything on towards the interest of the Yoruba nation. But he spoke in yesterday. We do agree with some of the things he has said. We disagree with the way and manner he described Tinubu, but at the same time, is coming down to what we want for the two of them to work together, for the two of them to resolve their differences. And then that has to be very what we as Wawa, the Young Yoruba for Freedom, what we want is we don't pretend. We want the office of Ariana Kakanfo to work with the APC because that office is ultra conservative. That office cannot be seen to be liberal. If that office is continued to be seen to be liberal, that office will be undermined. That's why our governors will not want to work with the Ariana Kakanfo because they are the people in power. So if we work together, get the presidency, now that even Ariana Kakanfo has said it openly, publicly, that the Fulani will not give up power, then we should be ready for war. We should be preparing for war. And if we don't have friends, allies, we're going to be defeated. So this is the time for the likes of Ariana Kakanfo to work with young mind, precocious mind, articulate mind within the Yoruba sphere. Work with the APC. We talk to the United States of America, talk to the state of Israel, talk to Brazil. We prepare for war. And if Fulani says nonsense, then we break up Nigeria. And it is for that reason that we should also send message to the English establishment as a movement after this address today. We've already established British Yoruba, which my colleague who is the one coordinating it. Polari is in charge. So the essence of the British Yoruba is that we're going to negotiate and we're going to lobby rather. We're going to lobby with the English establishment for Nigeria to break up. And we guarantee them that 70% of us living in England will return home the moment Nigeria breaks up. And otherwise, if we go back to regional government, about 70% of the Yoruba living in England and will return back to Yoruba land. This is what we are going to be doing after this. So, guys, I don't not wish to talk too much about this issue, but I think I've said enough. In as much as I would like to talk more on this sexual politics, you will see us writing more about this in our subsequent posts. I would like to appeal to the Yoruba women in general that look, we have disappointed you enough as men. We have built our civilizations, but we failed you. We have allowed you to be abused. We have allowed you to be damaged. We have allowed you to be troubled for so long. So we want to ask for your forgiveness to Yoruba women. We want to ask that you show love to your children by severing sexual and marital relationship with Igbo men. We may have failed you in the past. We will try all our possible best to make changes. But we cannot make changes if you do not have your voice. The Igbo are using intermarriages to try to destroy our civilization. We want to appeal to Yoruba women to help to stop them. Thank you very much, guys. I'm very grateful. I will see if I can take some questions. And guys who want to come to court, you want to see me, we are asking anybody who wishes to come to court is Westminster Magistrate Court. It's not a big deal. The police said that I'm using inflammatory language. You know what we discussed on the 4th of March 2020 when I took them to court was that I shouldn't use inflammatory language for my new videos. And I said, look, I don't use inflammatory language. You can consider them colorful language. We're passing a message to the general public. And if this is not done, there will be war. That is it. But funny because they are very cunning. They dropped the allegation of terrorism and said that videos that are made in 2017 that have used inflammatory language. We agreed on the 4th of March that it is new video, but there's none of my new video that they have even charged me with anything with. They didn't even see anything like that there. But they're saying, oh, we've seen 4 of your video, you use inflammatory language. It's not right for the police to have done that. So, guys, if you wish to come to court, I think people should be allowed to come to court and just come and say, we want to talk about these 4 videos. That's all. So let me see some of the questions that you guys have for me. So it's on the 3rd of June. People are asking. It's not going to be a big deal. So Johnson, I don't really like it. No, no, it's not dangerous. Why is it? Why is it dangerous for people to come to court if they want to come to court? No, it's not dangerous. The police are going to. I told the police already that people who want to come to court are free to come to court. The police will give me protection, even they are the one that I'm challenging in court. No, it's not. It's not everything is asked. Not you don't. Everything will not have to be about fear. People just fear unnecessarily. People will come around and learn. They say nonsense because police have dropped the charges of terrorism because they know that I'm not a terrorist. But I wasn't expecting them to be telling me that okay, you are using inflammatory. No, it's not. So it's good if people wish to come to court. It's not. Now let me see if I can take some questions. Now, for me to make a statement that I'm coming to court, because police know that people are likely to come to court, so they're going to give me protection. You know, I've been asking for protection for because I receive threats from my personal mobile sometimes ago. I don't know how that got, but I think the threats might be coming from Opoyemi's new partner because nobody knows my number except that guy, and that guy is seriously hiding his identity. So it's up to something sinister. Mm. Yeah, there's protection. There's protection. I know the Igbo just talk shit. They just talk nonsense. The police knows about the stupid Igbo people. Why are you asking me date and time? It's 3rd of June. I've said this thing that without no. No, we prepare for the security, guys. We are, yeah, bless you. Guys, uh you don't have any questions for me? Do you want me to go down? Okay, guys, it's done 2 hours, 30 minutes. We're going to have to call it a day. Thank you so much to Yoruba women. And then we are very appreciative of your support. And I don't have to take any more questions, though. I'm so sorry, guys. So I will have to see you on very soon. Thank you so much. May Jesus Christ keep you safe. I can read that. Thank you so much. My worry will keep you safe. Thank you, guys. It's an honor for me to do this. And it's an honor for me to try to fight for our descendants. And I'm very grateful. Okay, Mr. Abayomi is asking me to encourage people to make donations. You know, I don't always remember that. Well, it depends if people want to make donation, they can make donation. Mr. Abayomi, I don't if you are going to be free, then it will be an honor for me to meet you once again. If you call me. A lot of guys are coming anyway. Yeah, I just want people to come and see that it's a civilized society. Then they go to perhaps the police are saying they don't want to play the video, they are too long. And then I'm saying to them that my YouTube channel was hacked or shut down, so I want it back. It's going to be very impressive because we don't do anything other than to fight for our children. We need to do that. Or you want to join our, you just have to join. You like our page first. A lot of people want to join us. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Abayami. Thank you so much. I'll be glad to see you. A lot of women have shown interest to come too. So thank you very much, guys. Guys on YouTube, now on Facebook, we don't know your questions that you have. Igbo, Igbo people, you abuse us. Or somebody is saying that, and Igbo saying that I can never marry any other person other than Yoruba woman. I'm there. I'm going to apologize on you. I don't have a guest to wake up. Igbo, Igbo. Yeah, yeah, it's not. Yeah, guys. What should women already married to Igbo do? Okay, I was talking about this, Madam Undua. I was talking about this yesterday. So I'm going to have to go now. Guys, please help to love and like our YouTube channel. And because Facebook is very, very not reliable. Yeah, you wish in charge. So what exactly you guys don't ask me any question. Okay, somebody is asking Are to post our account details. Yeah, Are will do that for us. Some other guy. Madam Bulua, thank you so much for joining us. So okay, we just wait for that details to be shared so that I can go, right? Oh, what's happening here? Guys, I've got to go. So cheers. I'll see you. We're going to come live very soon to do another program that we've planned. Now let me okay, I'm gonna bring Madame in. Okay, Madame is just on another video. Yeah, let me bring this recipe. So I forgot to do this. So I'm trying to bring. Hey, why are you not breaking it? Yeah, you're going to see me very soon, sir. Sir, I'm trying to call you now. Sir, if I call you, please can you pick, please? Sir, I'm trying to call you. Hello, sir. I'm still live. I saw your comment now. I decided to call you. So people, people are hearing you. Yeah, people are hearing you, sir. Yeah.
exceptionally intelligent. I'm not just saying this to impress you or anybody. It's a fact. Because when you started the lecture, I read some comments about I did this, about I did that, you know, even from some of the YYF members. Okay. But I was surprised when you came up, you know, to explain, you know, what you were impressed with. So when you mention the areas that Are hasn't, you know, didn't do enough, and where he, you know, somebody actually commented that he didn't condemn the Igbo, and I listened to the interview and I said to myself, no, he actually condemned the Igbo. He actually mentioned about them coming in without capital, coming to our space, commit crime, get capital from our space through, you know, through criminality, and then establish the business and all that. So, you know, I felt, oh, this is courageous of him, and I appreciate him for that. So when you mentioned it today, I said, wow, AG is actually, he's AG Loto, you know, the people know why you are the president. Well done. I appreciate you, my brother.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So that was what I asked my colleague to watch the video. I actually watched the video twice, and he said a lot of reasonable things, and then we were very impressed.
Yeah.
You know, we're very impressed with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes, so, I was impressed because even with the pressure, the father, you know, he's based in Nigeria, with pressure from right, left, and center, from different, you know, sectors of the society, different parties, and, you know, the guy is still standing. I think we should take it easy with him and continue to persuade him to understand. So, with time, I hope we'll break through.
Yeah, we'll break through. I'm actually on a personal note, because as you know, Are and I are very close, and then he respects me so much, and I give him very respect. So it was very difficult for me to come out in public to say that we're not impressed with some of the action. But with what he did yesterday, I'm very, very impressed. Even though we want something far more, but he has shown maturity himself. He has shown that the office that he occupies is for the interest of the Yoruba nation. We do understand and appreciate what he's done. So, mo dúpẹ́ sir pé ẹ point your house, sir. Okay, next time, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope to see you, and I hope to see you on the 3rd of June.
I will definitely do. I'm going to look at my program now and reschedule my programs.
Okay, sir. Okay, next time, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, bye, sir.
And you too, my brother. God bless you.
Yeah, bye, sir. Yeah, let me try. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to bring it. Hello, ma. Hello, ma. Okay, ma. Mo wà live pẹ̀lú yín, ma. Mo kàn ní pé kí n gbúrò yín, pé kí n dúpẹ́ fún àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ máa ń ṣe. Mo wà live o, àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín o. Àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín, ma. Hello, ma. Àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ conversation wa. Hello, ma. Àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ conversation wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́. No, mo ìwà live báyìí, ma. Mo ìwà live. Oh, sorry. But mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ náà ni, ma. Mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Hello? Okay. Ṣé mo wà live pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn tó gbọ́rọ̀? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ma. Mo kàn need the contribution yín sí lecture tá a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ parí lẹ́nu yìí ni, ma. Okay. Èló lẹ fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wa lọ́tẹ̀ yìí o. Àgbà àkọ́kọ́ lọ́wọ́ yìí, a need kẹ́ bá wa dá sí nǹkan tá a sọ yẹn. Wípé kí lẹ feel? Báwo lẹ ṣe feel, ma? No, I totally agree. I agree. Okay. You know, èmi tiẹ̀ máa lọ further. Mo sọ fún ẹ. Okay. You know, Yoruba to Yoruba ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ma. Yes. No, because the relationship tó wà perfect. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Okay. We know that. But you know, this is self-preservation. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ma.
kò ṣe àwọn Igbo nìkan lèmi ò jíṣẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn yẹn náà àti mọ àwọn yẹn even àwọn minority tó ń sọ rubbish Igbo ni minority máa ti jókòó máa ti sọ èyí ọmọ agége yẹn California bíbá yìí ló ti law school nonsense ọ̀rọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí Yorùbá 60 I think we're even more than 60 million.
Yeah, Ari Ona Kakanfo said something like that we are actually 80 million.
I think we are more than that.
He said we are actually 80 million. He said that yesterday that we are actually 80 million people. But there's a place that is share research here, man. Our Germans ni o share research here. So we just
Oh yeah. Because I want you to Gambari
on my Lord tún ṣe bọ́n ṣe ṣe yẹn. Yes, ma'am.
You know, my own is even our minority in family me. I know àwọn Yorùbá tó fẹ́ Benin tó fẹ́ Okrika is part of Ijo, even from the royal family. Okay, but more from my cousins, they have this divided
divided loyalty.
Yes. You know, but that kini here one day. So that like cousin me tell me pẹ̀lẹ́ bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ cousin tó yẹ pé mama tí àti mama tèmi ọmọ ìyá ni wọ́n tó yẹ pé Yorùbá. You know, mama tí láti ilé Aláàfin royal family Ọ̀yọ́. Sọ ilé fún ẹ. You know, tó máa sọ pé Yorùbá kini kan máa ní Yorùbá kini. Mani kó gbẹnu ẹ sàn mani Yorùbá kìíní kan mo ní màmá tiẹ̀ ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ you know Yorùbá ni so n tó kó ojú Áfíríkà sí mani okay then ẹ̀yin Yíbò ó ní àwọn Yorùbá ka gbogbo wọn fún as Yíbò mo ní because ẹ máa behave bí wọn náà ni nítorí náà la ṣe ń kà ní fún as that mo ní mi pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wẹ̀ first cousins mo ní tó máa di ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá mi ò kò ní sí pé first cousin kankan wà ń bẹ̀ ó mọ bí n ṣe feel òun ò like Tinubu mo ní like Tinubu because òun ló ń jà fún Yorùbá mo ní you know àwọn ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ yín and dá sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn all these other minorities mo ní but èwo ni kẹ́yìn máa kó ẹnu sí ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa so my own is even further but all these minorities olúkálùkù fẹ́ aráàlú ẹ̀ olúkálùkù wọ́n fẹ́ aráàlú ẹ̀ Yorùbá to Yorùbá because don't love all these other people they are from my own family there is a divided loyalty there is and they get confused you know Yorùbá kìíní kan relationship kò sí relationship tó wà affect you work on it náà ni tí kò bá dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ you move on to the next one with another Yoruba person. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So my own is even hardcore.
Hardcore. That is my own. Yeah. And then thanks so much. Yeah, radio. Okay, mo ti ẹ ṣe mistake mi ò sọ fún àwọn èèyàn ni pé why have radio cast. You just help me to send the link. Why radio cast yẹn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí because I ti move kúrò ní the normal one ó ti di 24/7 sìn. So ó ti di 24/7. So ó ti wà.
Èmi máa ń listen sí àwọn other Yorùbá kìíní but I am conservative to the core. I listen to them to see and hear where they're coming from. But okay, because of my wonder, because you say they can't see straight. But no, then, you know,
it's majority of them, man. Majority of them divided loyalty and low and bad. Sherry, majority of them antagonize wa. They are half Igbo, half Yoruba. So one can fair interest Yoruba, one man fair jack interest wa. So what about our full-blooded Yoruba children? Kalo ma safeguard interest mo.
You know, forget it. You know, but I'll make sure I put him in a position to interact with other Yoruba kids. You know, that's another thing. For so many years, I felt lonely. So that the chance of that would be tó o bá tún àwọn yòókù ilé ìlàbòsí ní oko that kind of stuff but anyway Ọlọ́run lágbára Elédùmarè gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń jà fún yìí Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ èmi ò ń pè lórí ní mi ò ń ṣe because I don't nǹkan kí nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run bá ní pé mo lábẹ́lẹ̀ máa ṣe lágbára Elédùmarè.
Eshegonima.
Okay.
Yeah, Eshegonima. I'm very grateful. And thanks so much for your contribution when I was arrested for terrorism and your support.
Advertise the radio station.
Okay, I will do now. Yeah, we have it. All right, we you are live. Arrest send the link, yes, one thing. So I will tell people Lati Logo. Thank you very much, Maya. Eshegonima.
Okay. Yeah, and good luck with your case.
Okay, so Eshegonima. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So guys, we have a radio station that runs 24/7. Our radio station is not modeled after Radio Biafra. No, the first freedom radio that we established in Nigeria was actually Radio Kudirat. It was actually the Igbo people who copied our own way of doing things. But people have been asking why we have to do this. Most of these things are very expensive for us. We use our personal wealth, our personal energy and everything, but we have lovely, committed guys working with us, and we are very grateful to them. So our link is there. Listen to YYF Radio online 24/7 without interruption. The link has been shared. I kindly share the link with them on the Facebook as well, so we can let me bring in Egbon Kazi into this. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're live, sir. Mo kàn ní pé kí n dúpẹ́ first ní kí n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún all your support nígbà tí wọ́n arrest mi fún terrorism yẹn. Mo ní pé kí n dúpẹ́, and then mo ní pé kí n dúpẹ́ fún support tẹ̀ fún YYF and your shared commitment, and then it is because of people like you we continue with what we are doing. Anything tẹ́ fẹ́ heard sorry sexual politics from your own personal experience?
Yes, exactly. So my own contribution is this. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí, as you know, ọmọ Yorùbá lè full-blooded Igbo woman, màmá mi Èkìtì. Ṣùgbọ́n eventually mo fẹ́ Igbo níyàwó, a lovely woman. But I am a proper, a core Yoruba conservative. Though àwọn ẹlòmíì máa ń ṣàlẹ́ mi pé ìwọ tó fẹ́ Igbo tó nǹkan no, this is àwọn kankan wà tí àwa bá tẹ̀ ṣe a lè sọ pé when we say the wrong káwa fẹ́ máa pretend ṣóyé àwọn ọmọ mi ò rí wọn ní Igbo Yorùbá ni wọ́n ṣóyé even in their document o ò lè rí traces of orúkọ Igbo láàrin orúkọ wọn ṣóyé orúkọ Yorùbá proper ni mo dẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé wọn ní ìṣẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá níbí báyìí because mo mọ̀ pé ìyà tó ń jẹ Yorùbá tí a bá correct ìyà yẹn náà máa jẹ àwọn ọmọ mi nítorí òun ló ń jẹ èmi náà èmi náà fi kúrò nílé ṣóyé so àwọn èèyàn wa like lady was asking the question bẹ́ẹ̀ tó sọ pé àwọn táwọn fẹ́ Igbo àbáwọn tó fẹ́ Igbo kan well very quite unfortunate. Ọmọ ọjọ́ Yorùbá ẹni but àwọn tó kù we advise them never to make such a mistake. So that's it. So Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú ẹ Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú wa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye. So guys, the link to the radio is there. So it's every time you can hear it. So the boa check it. So any pay me. Okay. So let me try and call. Guys, help to listen to the YF radio. Hello, Miss Shewa. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, ẹ wà live o. Mo ní pé kí n kàn hard the opinion yìí sí program that ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ parí sí náà ní kí tó call it a day.
Ẹ wà live o. Ẹ kò ṣe ìwà.
Kí ni background noise yẹn wà ń bẹ̀ o? Background noise yẹn wà ń bẹ̀.
Mo fẹ́ reduce.
Okay.
I should we are so really impressed about you. I should go at this pay at the sorrow.
Yeah.
Because before the day will be doing your but try again don't but so that's the best thing to tell so at least you know what but I feel go so long here. Go ẹ̀jẹ̀ kò ṣe àjọjọ máa lọ́kọ̀ jù yẹn ni o.
Ṣé ẹ kì í ṣiṣẹ́ ń jọ yẹn ni? Okay, Mama expect you then. Yeah. Any nice time. Kí wá mi kí àwọn. Mi gbọ́. Yeah, she got. Yeah.
God bless every
Okay.
president.
Yeah,
Thank you.
My God, your family.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, I'm trying to give in a lot of people. If I call a Libra guy now. So guys, okay, I call this Mr. Suji. So let me give you the okay, can't be. Now, hello, sir. Shewa, okay. Kopa, ẹ live o. Yeah. Mo fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gbọ́ opinion yín ni sí lórí sexual politics tá a ṣe parí.
It's a very good. Mo ń bọ̀ ìgbà sọ. Ṣé máa fóònù yín padà?
Sir?
Okay, mo ń gbọ́ ìgbà sọ.
Yeah, mo ní pé kí n seek opinion yín lórí nǹkan tá a ṣe ṣe tán nìyẹn. Kí ni views yín lórí ẹ̀?
Well, I don't have much to say. Ó dà pé wà okay to me. Any that man gbọ́ dẹ́kẹ̀ ó máa ń jẹ́ kí inú mi máa dùn. I don't know much to say. Mi ò mọ nǹkan tí mo lè sọ, but mo ṣàmọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ ó wà right.
Okay, sir.
I just knew it is right. Yeah. I knew. But I don't have much to say.
Okay, no. Sir. Okay, I should.
Mo ṣàmọ̀ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe, mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó wà right.
Yeah, I should go on.
At least you are fighting for the interest of Yoruba. Yeah. I know that. Bí àwọn conservative máa ṣe ni Yorùbá conservative. Kò yẹ kí àwọn Yorùbá Libra kó máa bá tiwa jẹ́. And they get away with it. We don't want that. Àwọn Yorùbá burúkú tó ń ba Nàìjíríà jẹ́ ó yẹ ká tètè pa wọ́n dànù tipẹ́tipẹ́.
Ó tọ́lẹ̀ sọ.
Ó yẹ ká ti fìbọn fọ́ rí. England ò ní gba nonsense yẹn. English wọn ní gba gbogbo nonsense yẹn. Kí àwọn Scottish àbí Welsh kọ́ máa ṣe gbogbo nonsense yẹn. Kọ́ máa wá sí ìlú wọn kó máa.
A lot of Yorùbá tó wà ní UK wọ́n understand the government bíbá wọ́n understand structure yẹn. So torí ẹ̀ ní wọ́n ṣe tètè key into it.
Wèrè ni wọ́n. Àwọn ọmọ pé regional government ló ń practice.
Wọ́n mọ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀. Àti practice regional ní Nàìjíríà tipẹ́tipẹ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ọtí tí Major Kaduna Ezigbo tó lọ stage school tó fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ dànù. Bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni sir.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
So guys, we You might have to call it a day. Okay, let me try and call. Hmm. Hello? Yeah, well, okay, you are live, oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just help us to add one or two things.
Mo enjoy lecture yẹn gan. Mo ṣe ń wọlé mo rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ Gani Adams ní ìyẹn sọ lọ́wọ́ nígbà tí mo wọlé.
Okay.
And that's pé Gani Adams ti eventually come out lórí issue àwọn Igbo. I'm very impressed about that.
Yeah.
So ìyẹn máa tún jẹ́ kí àwọn general public náà kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wake up so that I reduce division tó wà láàrin ààrẹ àti aṣíwájú.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand them? Yeah. So lórí sex politics yẹn actually ìpèmí ṣe rí I think màá fẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ call one or two more people so that kí àwọn èèyàn kan comment more. Because we need it so that a máa mọ nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn feel about it.
Yeah.
So that we can actually work on it too. Very, very important. Ìyẹn ti ṣiṣẹ́ lọ nìyẹn and it has gone a long way.
Yeah.
Lórí sex politics nísìnyí ó ní èmi àtàwọn Igbo jọ ń fà ní America ń sìn lórí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Just because I told them not to marry, I'm advising the Yoruba youth not to marry Igbo people, and Igbo people took it personal. And wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe rádaràda. But thank God, I think this is just it's not the last lap, but it's one of the vital information tí Yoruba youth tí wọ́n need. I think our target is the youth tí wọ́n need in order for them to stand and fight for their rights, to fight for their freedom. People don't wear slave war actually, not with Fulani. They are just using Fulani as a tool, as a material. People don't wear slave war. So, and it's a pity. We allow their stupidity, the level of their illiteracy go subjugate to her. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Eshigon. I will try and call more people, so Bashir suggests. Thank you very much. We will speak after.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I'm trying to call other people. I hope this will go in. Some people say they can't comment. If I don't accept your friendship, you can't comment because some of you are Igbo using Yoruba. Yeah. So yeah, I've been calling this person back. Okay, you are not Igbo. Yeah, you are live. I've been trying to call you since you said I should call you. I just want you to add one or two things to the campaign that we have just ended. So you are live now.
Okay.
So people are listening to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate what you are doing. You are really doing a fantastic job. And this is an eye-opener for us, and especially we women. Because we know that what's like the way the system in Nigeria is going is not right, but we don't just have a clue and we don't know what to do to it. But what by listening to you've really enlightened us, and now we know the way forward. So I'll just thank you very much, and you let us know, how women can help or assist.
Yeah.
So that we, moving forward.
Yeah. So, what in your own opinion, you reckon from listening to what we have done, there was a research that we spoke about genetic variation, in which the conclusion was that because Hausa Fulani have reduced intermarriages, they are able to speak with one voice. But you will see that the Yoruba don't speak with one voice. Look at the enormity of Yoruba condemning Tinubu, for instance. Yet the same set of Yoruba condemning Tinubu, they want to vote for Atiku, somebody that is not a graduate. Atiku has a diploma in food hygiene, and they want to make such a person to be president of Nigeria. But they would rather condemn their own people. So you reckon that the high rate of intermarriages that we have in Yoruba land is actually affecting us?
Yeah, you are very right. It's really, really affecting us. So that's why I said that what you are doing is very good. So that people should know now that we should please let Yoruba marry Yoruba. Let us marry ourselves. Let us marry ourselves, because that is the only way we can be strong, and work as one. Because if I have a sister that is, if I have a nephew that is Igbo, it will be very hard for me, to maybe if there is war, for me to face that my niece. But if we try and marry each other, then it will be very 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 easy for us to work as a team, and to work for one goal as well. So I think what you're saying is very right. Yeah. So we should marry ourselves.
It is. So you would then agree with me from what you have said now. It's very difficult for you if you have a nephew or a niece who is Igbo. But that is the clear intention of the Igbo who are deliberately marrying Yoruba women. They impregnate these women, but if there is war, they will not care if they have a nephew that is Yoruba or not. Because if they are the people that are encouraging intermarriages, yet they continue to attack Yoruba political leaders. They continue to abuse Yoruba traditional leaders. They continue to undermine our space. They come to our space and sell fake drugs. So they know in their heart of heart that their nieces, their nephews who are Yoruba, they don't care about their safety, because they are marrying our women deliberately to dominate us. So, like what you have said now, you are already thinking about, oh, if I have an Igbo nephew, if I have an Igbo niece, it will be difficult for me to make a decision. But the Igbo who are actually marrying Yoruba women, they don't think about that. But because if they do, this time around, they will not be condemning Tinubu, because they've condemned Awolowo, condemned Abiola, condemned Olufalaye. Look at the way and manner they are condemning Tinubu. They are even looking for a possibility to have Tinubu killed. So we should not allow sentiment. If there is war, it is going to be the Yoruba national interest that will have to be defended. Because the Igbo who have nephews and nieces who are Yoruba, they don't care whether they die or not, as long as Igbo interest is protected.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're right. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Or you want to add something?
No, I was nothing. I was just trying to say that I think the Igbo studies us.
Yes.
They knew that if they start impregnating Yoruba girls, that will weaken their system.
Yes.
So but the Yoruba ladies did not realize that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said what you are doing is a good thing. That now most of us now are thinking that if we marry Igbos, that means we are an enemy to Yoruba land.
Yeah.
We are an enemy to our own fathers. So.
Yeah. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah. I'm trying to call people. Okay. So, hello? 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 You are live. Do you want to add to what we're doing presently? We have concluded our research and our campaign on sexual politics. Ṣé oníkankan in particular tó fẹ́ hard sí tó máa benefit àwọn èèyàn because you are live, people can hear this conversation. Hello? Hello, yeah, you go on, please, go ahead.
I want to say Yoruba guys should go for Yoruba ladies and let Igbo guys go for their Igbo ladies as well. That's what I have to say for now.
Okay. Thank you very much. You once told me about your experience about Igbo in. Do you recollect?
Of course, yes. All I know is that I don't like being too close to them because they are evil people. That is all.
Yeah, they are very evil.
I have so many experiences of them that, in fact, I really don't want to be closer to them at all.
Yeah. It's terrible. I do remember some of the things we discussed about these people. And you agree with me that we have our government in Yoruba land, they have allowed unregulated mass migration of Igbo. How can we have a space? You just allow people to troop in there, unregulated. They just bring their bags and come to our space. And yet crime is going up. What do you think?
That's very true. Yeah. All we have to do is to try and let them leave this place. That is all I can say for now. But we just have to work towards it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll call you. I'll call you later.
All right.
Yeah. Clement. I'm trying to ring you now. I hope you pick your call. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yeah, you are live. You are live. You are live. Okay.
Yeah, but if
okay. Okay.
We have done the best.
Yes.
And we still continue to be doing it. YYF is just amazing. YYF is amazing to every Yoruba in diaspora. So, well, I mean,
what's that?
So, to the fucking. Mumo.
Oh, kini yen pariwo díẹ̀, kini yen pariwo ẹ mute ẹ díẹ̀ sir, so that àwọn èèyàn lè gbọ́ yín.
Okay. So,
mo gbọ́ sir.
Have done the best and we still continue to do it.
No, ó repeat ara ẹ̀, ó pariwo. Okay, ẹ wá sọ́nà sir. Okay. Àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín sir.
Nǹkan tí mò ń sọ ni pé ní sexual abuse tá à ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí experience tó wà ń pa ẹ̀ ó pọ̀ gan-an. Tábà ní ká continue ká máa sọ àwọn èèyàn máa sunkún tó bá ń gbọ́. Mo ní sísítà kan mú kọ forúkọ bó láṣì ẹ̀gbọ́n ló jẹ́ married to Igbo. There's done a lot in London. Gbà tó padà wá sílé máa yẹn kú. and kó tó di pé kó wọ́n ti fún ní chief title nígbà tó fẹ́ lọ máa yẹn ò sọ fún pé ó ní culture tó máa ń ṣe ń lu wọn gbà tó fẹ́ ra with the 2 children boys and girls wọ́n fa àrùn orí ẹ̀ nǹkan tó ṣe fún bẹ̀ blessed memory my father òun ló rescue ẹ̀ kí ni yẹn ò tí kú lára àti ẹ̀ dé so why Yorùbá girls should go for Igbo àmọ́ pé unity system ti bá àpọ̀jẹ́ bẹ̀tù wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe kí ni yẹn wá ní ẹni tẹ́ ń gbé kò dáa ọ̀gbun ni wá oúnjẹ wọn ò ṣe jẹ but you want to live and die in our space. So kí ìjáwọ́ iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe àtúbọ̀ máa kọjú láti máa ké torí fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọkùnrin tó bá sọ fún sí pé kí Yorùbá má fẹ́ Ìgbò a ní kí ló mí a ní racist ni a ní kìnìkan wọn ò mọ tó bá go through nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ education tó wà ń bẹ wọn máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa ni torí ojú wọn ò là sí nǹkan tá a sọ apart from pé àwa ń lo òyìnbó àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjà tó mọ rírì ẹ̀ ó yé wọn ṣùgbọ́n a máa bá wọn sọ ni torí unity ti bà nǹkan jẹ́ nǹkan tó kọ̀ múnú mi dùn apart from pé iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe òun ti ààrẹ Gani Adams because all of us in YY we are looking up to him because nǹkan tó ti ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá but a mọ̀ pé àwọn onígbà fẹ́ lò and the situation of the politics táwọn èèyàn play ń sin pocket politics inú mi dẹ̀ dùn pé ààrẹ náà kó máa change with the time so gbogbo interview tó ṣe yẹn in fact mo fẹ́ pè pé bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣó gbọ́ interview tá rẹ̀ ṣe mi ò mọ̀ pé ó tẹ̀ ti gbọ́ ó ti wo because we are still debating about him last two weeks that's all but not to stand ó máa change torí fún kíni ó ti ṣiṣẹ́ tó dáa kó má fọwọ́ ara ẹ̀ bàjẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn tó kó tira àwọn PDP leader tó kó tira tó fẹ́ lọ ọ́fíìsì ẹ̀ kò dé lè possible ká aláwọ̀ ààrẹ for that office because we respect that office so much because office yẹn ó wà most important it's a consultative office of Yorùbá kì í ṣe leader Yorùbá ló wà ń bẹ̀ so tó bá fẹ́ play politics kó play politics láyé ọ̀tọ̀ personal interest nìyẹn but ó má jẹ́ kí ìyà jẹ àwọn ọmọ wa tó wọlé àwọn nǹkan tá a ti rí káwọn ọmọ wa kọ́ má rí irú ẹ̀ mọ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò lómìnira gbogbo ala fún káàkiri bí iná wẹ́dà tó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ààrẹ náà tó wá ń bá wa níbà wọ́n gbé wa náà tó kò yẹ káàrẹ kó tún gba àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ kan lò láti gbé kó máa jẹ́ antagonist mọ́ Tinubu tó ti ń wí ìlú òṣèlú tó ti ń ṣòṣèlú tó ti dókà tó wà ń ta ẹni bá ń bá Tinubu dá múra bí mo ṣe wà APC ni wá mo láwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n PDP ni wọ́n àwọn ọkùnrin ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Ìgbò náà fẹ́ bọ́ lọ́jọ́ fẹ́ẹ́ rí ti Yorùbá rò nǹkan ti pàdé lọ gidi nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nígbà ìgbéyàwó tó ó lè yẹ káwọn ààrẹ ti mọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ nínú ìdùn lẹ́nu dọ́mẹ́ta ń ṣe pé ààrẹ náà ń ṣe ìdì náà tipátipá so thank God my president so we should continue to be doing it and ìjẹ́ kó sún wa we still find out we do the research and then we public out àmàmà rí pé tó bá pẹ́ tó bá yá ó máa yé o kì í ṣe gbogbo wa ló máa yé o bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ àwọn èèyàn méjì ló yé àwọn èèyàn méjì yẹn ó ti tó nígbà tí Mósè fẹ́ kọ́ àwọn Ísírẹ́lì kò because let's talk about the Bible tó fẹ́ kọ́ òkú ló pẹ̀lú òun ṣe gbogbo wọn ló gbà fún àwọn kan ní wọ́n ti ń jẹ wọ́n ti yó wọ́n mú wọ́n ṣe nǹkan tó wù wọ́n tí wọ́n fi kó wọn kó tó fẹ́ wá sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé kí ká lọ sí ká padà sí regional government wá ní kí ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé wọn ò mọ ọkọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ a lè máa jẹ́ kọ́ mọ ọkọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ tó bá yá so pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn Olódùmarè ìpínlẹ̀ lẹ́tà ṣe kò ní sú wa kò ní rẹ̀ wá so especially ìwọ náà tó jó lórí wa náà kò ní sú ẹ kò ní rẹ̀ so contribution ọ̀rọ̀ mi nìyẹn Yorùbá ó fẹ́ Yorùbá àti ká stop wọn ní tábà ní wọn ta ká máa pariwo mọ́ wọn yà that is ridiculous wọn ò mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọn lóyìn wọn ń ṣe sí wa tó bá ń bọ́ mọ́ wọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe sí wa wọn kọ́ àgàgà àwọn tó bá ní blonde ẹ̀ tó bá tíkẹ́ tó yẹ kí blonde ẹ̀ kò lè escape ẹ̀jẹ̀ nílùú òyìnbó kò lè escape kọ́ máa gbẹ̀jẹ̀ lára ẹ̀ so òun ni tó ibù kan kó má jọmọ wọn kankan kó jẹ́ fọ́nrìn náà ni pẹ̀tọ́rí kó kọ̀ ní blonde ẹ̀ lásán wọn ò mọ̀rú èdè tó jẹ́ wọn mọ̀rú nationality ẹ̀ lóko tó bá rìn ó jẹ́ wàhálà ní fún ẹ̀ so òun ni so Yorùbá ò mọ̀ pẹ̀tẹ́ àwọn èèyàn tó ti kó sínú wàhálà yẹn wọ́n máa gbọ́ wa lé nìyí sìn wọ́n máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa ni wípé kì í ṣe gbogbo ìyàrá máa sọ pé mo yàgbẹ́ mi ò lò fún so òun ni so adúpẹ́ fún ọlọ́pàá Tinubu là tẹ̀lé o my president Tinubu ni o APC 2023 kò sí nǹkan tó lè yẹ Tinubu ní nǹkan tó wọ̀ ọ́ sọ àfẹ́mọ̀ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ nǹkan tó wọ̀ ọba sọ pé ó lè dé ọba sọ pé ó gbé wúrẹ́ ọba sọ kò sí nǹkan tó kọ̀ wá ẹni tó bá ti dá náà wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ Jesus Christ was alive wọ́n sọ nǹkan tó wọ́n sọ nǹkan tó fún Muhammed náà sọ kò tí kankan pé kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu là tẹ̀lé so.
ṣe mọ̀ pé ìgbà tá à ń ṣe meeting lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ààrẹ yẹn ṣe mọ̀ how tí kìíní yẹn ṣe affect me jù because mo ní personal relationship pẹ̀lú wọn for us to think about mo dey máa ń sọ fún wọn pé I'm thinking about my children àwọn ọmọ mi ò kàn lè wà ní England kó máa rí nǹkan tí ìjẹ́ káwọn ọmọ kéékèèké máa rí pé kí ààrẹ ronú yẹn kó help wa bá wa save our descendant so ó difficult fún wa gba anti-crisis yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ because we maintain as a movement pé a ní láti pretend fáwọn èèyàn a láti sòótọ́ ni but so lánàá yẹn mo really appreciate the fact that he came out to speak because we insisted he has to do this and then he has shown that he's a leader par excellence and he has shown maturity even though they were impressed but it's a good start and then we can only hope there will be a better improvement because YYF as a movement is a force to reckon with in Yoruba land because they know that we are doing tremendous work for the Yoruba nation to protect our children. So, Eshegoni, sir, I'm very grateful, sir. My regards to your family. Bye. Yeah, guys, let me bring in Harry and then we call it. Okay. Hello, Mr. Shewa. Okay, we're live. Oh. Hello. Okay, ẹ jẹ́ kí n jẹ́ kẹ́ dá sí nǹkan tá a ṣe yẹn so that àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín.
My president, Ọlọ́run á máa fún yín ṣe Ọlọ́run á máa wà pẹ̀lú yín ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àtòyè tọ́lọ́run ti fún yín kò ní gbà àlékún gbogbo àwọn ọ̀tá wa àtọ̀tá yín báyìí gbogbo wọn báyìí lẹ máa jẹ́rìí wọn lágbára Ọlọ́run wọn tí Ọlọ́run fún yín tí ẹ gbé kalẹ̀ ọmọ Odùduwà nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òdì everybody ló ń dúpẹ́ wọ́n ń dúpẹ́ pẹ̀lú máa sọ fáwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan bí báyìí pé ní ayé àtijọ́ a kò ń gbọ́ sórí ìdá àwọn akọ̀kọ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá so àwọn akọni yìí most tí wọ́n ń ṣe àgbẹ̀wọ̀n wọ́n kàn ṣe nǹkan kan tó yẹ pé bí exceptional tí àwọn tọ́jú wà gbà yẹn tí wọ́n ò ṣe òun náà fi dé ẹjí fáì wọn náà lọ sọ ọ́ dòṣà náà so àwọn nǹkan yìí náà lẹ́yìn náà dẹ̀ ti sáré tẹ́tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ tẹ́tí yàtọ̀ sí ọmọ àlè tó bá jọ máa lè Yorùbá tó jẹ́ mixed race tó jọ mọ àlè nìkan ni wọ́n máa antagonize àwọn nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe bá pọ̀ àwọn yẹn pọ̀ náà láàrin wa náà àwọn nǹkan yìí dẹ̀ ló fà tí ilẹ̀ wa fi rí báyìí àbí nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń tọ́jú wa yan wa mẹ́bọ̀ tàdé ń wò wọ́n kí àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò àtọ̀hún ìwà àwọn ọmọ Ìgédé kọ́ máa lanu ní ilẹ̀ Oòduà pé àwa ń kọ́ àwa dọ̀tí àwa gọ̀ àwa sophisticated moron. Can you imagine so kí la fẹ́ sọ just because àwọn tó jẹ́ bí decision maker láàrin wa tó jẹ́ bí aṣíwájú wa àwọn tó fẹ́ tápà wà láàrin wọn tó fẹ́ Ìgbò wà láàrin wọn tó fẹ́ can you imagine wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wò wọ́n. tó bá yẹ pé àwọn pípù yìí tó bá yẹ pé ṣe ni wọ́n ní oògùn bíi Yorùbá ni màá ní ṣe náà dè wá nà pé àwọn dè wá ní irú àwọn black damaso tó bá lọ gbà bọ̀ àwọn àti di àwọn goalkeeper àwọn bíi Mayflower àti di rss màá ní wọ́n dè wá ní nà ó àbí kí ló fa gbogbo àmẹ́yẹ ti sọ Pentecostal church yẹn náà ni òun ló sọ fún wọn pé kó máa look up to imaginary heaven tó bá ti bẹ́ẹ̀ tó gbẹ́ra o máa dé ilé olóbi olè bí olóró káyì àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ míì kan wà tó yẹ pé tẹ́ bá ń sọ àwọn ẹlòmíì kan nu wọ́n ń ṣe ní èébì máa ń gbé àwọn bìbọ́ sígbà tẹ́ bá ń rí ìfìlẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan yìí tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ tó ti ṣe tó dé. káyì ìmájì ní ìkájí gbẹgbàkúgbà jù náà nígbà tá a bá wà nù nígbà tí èmi kéré tí mo wà nù Ṣàgámù tí mo kéré tí mo ń dàgbà mo máa ń gbọ́ tí wọ́n máa ń sọ àwọn ará Ṣàgámù tó máa sọ pé ogun ta ló gbọ́n ẹ̀pà pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbi ọ̀dà ìpè late 50s náà ló ṣẹlẹ̀ pé àwọn Haúsá àtàkì àwọn ọmọ inú ilé wọn níbi tó tàkàn sùn just because mọ́tò wọn bàjẹ́ wọ́n páàkì ẹ̀ mọ́tò tó ń bọ̀ láti ilẹ̀ Haúsá tírélà wọ́n páàkì ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹsẹ̀ rìn lọ sí Sábó kó dẹ̀ tó dé kọ́ tó dé ní àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì bí ọwọ́ aago 7 sí 8 àwọn kan pọ́n ẹ̀pà wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wọ gbogbo ilé tó wà ní eré àbí tí wọ́n pàdé tírélà yẹn sí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń àtàkì àwọn Yorùbá wọ́n ṣá wọn mọ́nú ilé. Who does that nígbà yẹn? Then so káàkiri wọn sọ pé ṣé wọ́n ní wọ́n bá ní 1999 wọ́n dán wò àmọ́ wọ́n jẹyàn wọn jù o. And kudos to ààrẹ Ìbà Gani Adams because wọ́n bá wa lẹ́nu ẹ̀ within 2-3 days. Ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn mobilize àwọn èèyàn wá náà. Láti sọ pé mi ì fẹ́ kí ààrẹ àwọn alálẹ̀ Yorùbá dẹ̀ dúró tì kí wọ́n fi sókínkín báyìí kó fi bàjẹ́. Because àwọn èèyàn tó ń mobilize wa OPC tó ń dé lọ́jọ́ yẹn àwọn bọ́ọ̀sì tó dé wọ́n lé ní 20 buses tó kó wọ Ṣàgámù. Káwọn tó gbóòdì wọ́n dẹ̀ deploy àwọn àmì wa. Kí àwọn Haúsá gbójúgbóyà kan àtàkì wa lóru mọ́jú nínú ìlú wa. Can you imagine? Just because à ń ṣe ooo ní ìjọ tí wọ́n fẹ́ parí ooo níjọ ìsán wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé aṣẹ́ gbogbo wọn máa wo ooo ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní ilẹ̀ Òkúà. Can you imagine that? Wọ́n gbé aṣẹ́ wọ́n báyìí ní Starlight Hotel ní Sápó gbogbo wa lọ wo ooo ya búga ṣe ni àwọn ta ni àwọn Yorùbá wò pé àwọn ní Sápó. Àmọ́ èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn yẹn táwa witness táwa náà lójú kò tún ní ṣẹlẹ̀ tí wọ́n mọ́ láéláé àìmọye wọn tó sá lọ because ká ní owó yẹn ní Yorùbá báwọn lò ní kò ní sí káyì máa di first grandson àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò sá lọ ń Ṣàgámù gbọ́dọ̀ sọ yìí because ogun yẹn don be 10 days now wọ́n sá official wọ́n sá lọ ní now official kì í ṣe àwọn là ń bájà ìyẹn àwọn olórí burúkú tó pé àkáwádìí yìí wọ́n sá lọ pé kó má dàbí ẹni pé ṣé kìí ṣe pé Yorùbá máa padà wá descend lórí àwọn nígbà tó bá parí àwọn Haúsá tán. So I really give you the kudos gbòkí la fẹ́ sọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ló ti ń kí yín lọ ti so kò sí nǹkan tó tún fẹ́ sọ bàbá ju pé kí àtúbọ̀ máa gbàdúrà pẹ̀lú gbogbo kọ́ọ̀sì ó lè rí bá ṣe fẹ́ Ọlọ́run náà dẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ kó tó kí yín lágbára Ọlọ́run. Kò sí gbogbo ìgbà àdá tó ń bókè òkè náà ló jẹ́rìí gbogbo wọn òkè ló máa parí wọn ilẹ̀ máa ń wí gbogbo àwọn ọ̀tá yín ó ṣọ́ọ̀jù a máa ń win kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe 2023 yẹn Tinubu ni tó bá ibẹ̀ yẹn kẹ́rìbọ̀dì ká máa lọ kó tẹ̀ nídìí ká gbọ́wọ́ kọ́kọ́ sí wọn lọ
kọ́kọ́ sí wọn lọ rí.
wọ́n máa kó sí wọn lára ibi tí èmi wà ilé mi tí èmi wà the next day bọ̀ bí ibo ló gbé bẹ̀ náà bí ló kàn mí polisi ẹ̀ mọ́ alẹ́ kó lè máa kẹ́kẹ́ kó máa kó kàn mí. mi ò wọ́n wọ̀n àwa làwa fún wọn ní jíjẹ tó ń fún wọn mímu láì sílẹ̀ Yorùbá gbọ́dá lọ́wọ́ bàbá nígbà náà in fact Yorùbá rí dínkù ara wọn nígbà tí mo wà ní Holland bàbá tí mo já dúró ní Holland àní àwọn guys wọ́n wá láti Amsterdam wọ́n wá gbé wọn wá sílé àdúró àwọn ọmọ bíi kóńgò ọ̀pọ̀ yẹn so ìgbà tí ó rí mi bí mo ń gbé Amsterdam mo ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ ó fẹ́ ọmọ Suriname kan sí àwọn ọmọ Suriname wọ́n máa ní Netherlands passport so wọ́n ń bùgà ìyẹn lo mọ́tò ó máa wá kò ní kí ni ó kàn máa wá stamp pẹ̀lú àwọn ọlọ́pàá ni wọ́n máa sign ní Thursday èmi lọ kọ́ dọ́ọ̀ṣì máa ń lọ sí college mo ń lọ school so kàn ní lọ́jọ́ kan ni èmi ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ bí wọ́n kàn ní èèyàn kan béèrè mi ni kò ní ẹ̀ta ló ń tàn mo jẹ́ di wọ́n rẹ̀ gá báyọ̀ dábàá tó bá basketball ó ní brother ó ní kí n wá ó gbé sìgá dání èmi náà lè mo sìgá ń gbà yẹn òye ni àwọn oníkì má bínú pé owó mo pé Nàìjíríà ni mí wọ́n ní báwo ló ta ló sọ pé Nàìjíríà ni mí pé wọ́n ní pé Yorùbá pé àwọn ò pé Ìgbò ní mí ni náà wọ́n ní ìṣe Ìgbò àti pété sọ pé Nàìjíríà ni àwọn làwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kóun kọ̀ sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n ní bí n pè kí náà pè yẹ́rò lè làwọn èèyàn máa ń pè mí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà pé ní à pé mò ń kan Yorùbá ní owó àánú bíbẹ̀ bóyá ní Yorùbá tẹ̀ pé àwọn Yorùbá ló fóun ní gbogbo nǹkan tóun jẹ́ ní Amsterdam àwọn náà bá ń wá ọmọ Suriname tóun fẹ́ yìí àwọn náà fóun sí wọn tó ń ṣe pé fóun wà pa àwọn náà ṣe gbogbo everything fóun. tó sọ fún mi bọ̀bọ́ yẹn níjọ́ yẹn Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ gbọ́ ó fún mi ní €100 ló fún mi. tó lẹ́rí àwa Yorùbá àmọ́rú agbára tọ́lọ́run fún wa àmọ́ rárá wọ́n kàn máa ń rí Awólọ́wọ̀ bí gbàgbé pé wọ́n kàn máa ń rí èèyàn kan tó kàn pé Awólọ́wọ̀ òkè wọn ò mọ orí èèyàn táwólọ́wọ̀ jẹ. àbíyànjú àìbóyá mi ìkọ̀ ká máa sọ pé mo wà lórí kíní àìmọye àwọn èèyàn tí mo ti ṣe wèrè fún bíbá yìí náà fún bí ọdún méjì sẹ́ńtọ́ máa ní who is grandson kíní kan àwọn Yorùbá ọ̀dẹ̀ yẹn náà ní ọbẹ̀ létà àwọn ṣèbí kan náà nú àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn tó bẹ tẹjọ kó yẹn nígbà tó náà padà gbà á wọ́n ní ẹ̀gbọ́n láti jọ ìdẹ́ ìgbà nílò ìbò kí ló sun yín débi báyìí. kí ló sèmi náà débi kí ló sún gbogbo wa débi mo ní nǹkan tí grandson jà fún nìyẹn ẹ̀gbọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni ẹ̀gbọ́n dẹ̀ click pé àwòtọ́ dẹ̀ ni o lẹ́gbọ́n fún àwọn bá pè mí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn ni ọmọ rẹ̀ ọmọkùnrin náà ni wá ọ̀dọ̀ náà fi gbèmí lọ́jọ́ gbà àwọn tẹ̀fẹ́ bá grandson sọ àwọn fẹ́ bá wọn grandson kò tẹ̀lé pé kò sí wàhálà so táwọn náà dẹ̀ sọ opinion tiwọn so bí ó ṣe rí yẹn náà àwọn èèyàn ti mọ rírì yín so and that is what I want you to know and you already know that anyway. So, what tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn bàbá.
Yeah, ẹ ṣé gan ni.
What tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn.
Yeah. Any nice night. My regards to your family.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, ẹ ṣé gan. I see.
So guys, please let's call it for a day, and we will come back and do things. Let me just sort out this case quickly. When we were in court on the 4th of March, it was very easy. There's not much time. Yeah, because this one is going to be very easy as well, hopefully. We're going to find time and come back. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. We have a radio station that you can listen to, YYF Radio Cast, guys. And then a lot of people have. I haven't seen any link on Facebook. That's why I'm checking. Please kindly help us to send the link. So it's 247. You can hear us 24/7. I'm very grateful to everybody, particularly our Yoruba women. Igbo are using interracial marriage to suppress us. So we have to stop that. We have to do everything. They are using intermarriage between Yoruba and Igbo to suppress us. And then I spoke with somebody now that just sharpened my insight into something. Imagine a Yoruba citizen whose sibling is married to an Igbo man or woman would think about the interests of his or her nieces and nephew. How come Igbo are desperately to marry Yoruba women, but they have never thought about the offspring that are nieces and nephew of these people? They continue to undermine us. They continue to attack us. They continue to do crime. They continue to do all manners of. That means they don't love the women they are married to. They just want to use them to infiltrate into our leadership, political leadership and traditional leadership, so that they can spread their children across Yoruba land and dominate us. So people who deliberately sleep with people just to destroy a nation, they should be destroyed. So Igbo men, if you are seen with any Yoruba lady in our universities to start with and public spaces, you are going to be attacked. And to Yoruba women, if you are seen with Igbo man or Igbo, we are going to disgrace you in public. You shall be disgraced because we will not allow you to undermine and destroy the civilization we hold there. We have had different generations of Yoruba people that have handed over Yoruba land to us. We have to hand Yoruba land to our children in full. And with the way and manner Igbo are using intermarriages to try as much as possible to dominate us, it is our responsibility to stop it now. So thank you so much, guys. I'm very grateful. I hope you listen to YYF Radio. Cheers.